yeah. Like, swords up, throw it up, throw it up, throw it up, throw it up. Swords up, throw it 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 up. Hey, throw them swords up, throw them swords up. Where you at? Where you at? Throw them up, throw them up. Avengers, where you at? Where you at? Throw them up, then slice and dice, then slice and dice, then slice, dice, 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 then slice and dice, then slice and dice, then slice, dice, 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 dice. Dani in the house, in the house, in the house. Avengers in the house, in the house, in the house, in the house. Swords up, turn up, turn up. Let's get messy, let's get nosy, let's go, let's go. Give him the tea, give him the news, give him the biz, give him the mess, the mess, the mess, the mess, the mess, the mess, the mess. Swords up, throw it up, throw it up, throw it up, throw it up. Swords up, throw it 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 up. Throw them swords up, throw them swords up. Where you at? Where you at? Throw them up, throw them up. Avengers, where you at? Where you at? Throw them up, then slice and dice, then slice and dice, then slice, dice, 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 then slice and dice, then slice and dice, then slice, dice, 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 dice. Who gon' check me? I'm playing chess, you playing checkers, checkmate, checkmate. Next caller, swords up, swords up, swords up, swords up, 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 up. I don't like you, can't stand you. If it's up, then it's stuck. Get stuck, stuck, stuck. Swords up, swords up, swords up, swords up, 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 up. You're mad, they mad. You're pressed, they pressed. Got your bother, they bother. Got your trigger, they trigger. Swords up, throw it up, throw it up, throw it up, throw it up. Swords up, swords up, swords up. Throw it up, throw it up, throw it up, throw it up. Hey, throw them swords up, throw them swords up. Where you at? Where you at? Throw them up, throw them up. Avengers, where you at? Where you at? Throw them up, then slice and dice, then slice and dice, then slice, dice, 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 then slice and dice, then slice and dice, then slice, dice, 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 dice. Let's go, start the show, symbol, we in chill, let's go, Avengers, assemble, lights, camera, action, we ready, stay ready, stay ready. Swords up, throw it up, throw it up, throw it up, throw it up. Swords up, throw it 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 up. Hey, throw them swords up, throw them swords up. Where you at? Where you at? Throw them up, throw them up. Avengers, where you at? Where you at? Throw them up, then slice. Yeah. Like, swords up, throw it up, throw it up, throw it up, throw it up. Swords up, throw it up, throw it up, throw it up, throw it up. Hey, throw them swords up, throw them swords up. Where you at? Where you at? Throw them up, Avengers, where you at? Where you at? Throw them up, then slice and dice, then slice and dice, then slice, dice, 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 then slice and dice, then slice.
Tell a hater your biz what cost you. Don't tell them nothing. Don't let them know nothing. Move it silent, Keep it to yourself. Keep it a seat. Keep it cute. Keep it class. Keep it class. Keep it moving. Keep them watching. Keep them guessing. Keep them guessing. Keep them guessing. Keep them hating. Keep them hate. I need the fear back up. That's none of your biz. Hold up. That's none of your biz. 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 I'm moving in silence. That's none of your biz. No biz. I'm moving in silence. I'm moving in silence. Tell a hater your biz will cost you. Don't tell them nothing. Don't let them know nothing. Moving silent. Keep it to yourself. Keep it a secret. Keep it cute. Keep it class. Keep it moving. Keep them watching. Keep them guessing. Keep them hating. They jealous. And they knows it. Praying I fail. Praying I lose. Praying I fall. Not telling you nothing. Not letting you in. Not letting you in my circle. Stay out of my biz. Stay out of my face. Stop asking me questions. You heard what I said. Stop asking me questions. Don't make me get ratchet. Get ratchet. I plead the fear back up. That's
none of your biz. Hold up, that's none of your biz. 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 Biz. I'm moving in silence. That's none of your biz. No biz. I'm moving in silence. I'm moving in silence. You wanna know my plans, my actions, how I move, how I groove, what I'm gon' do, when I'm gon' do. You wanna know my goals, my steps. You under my biz. 21 questions. Next question. Skip now, dip. I plead the fifth, back up, that's none of your biz. Hold up, that's none of your biz. 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 I'm moving in silence. That's none of your biz. No biz. I'm moving in silence. I'm headed to the top. Can't stop, won't stop. I'm pressure, straight, no chaser. Ambitious, go get it. I'm hurt. Let's go. I'm headed to the top. Did I stutter? Did I muddle? I'm headed to the top. That's where I'm going. Go. No more question. I plead the fifth. Back up. That's none of your biz. Hold up. That's none of your biz. 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 I'm moving in silence. That's none of your biz. No biz. I'm moving in silence. I'm moving in silence.
Tell the haters your biz what cost you. Don't tell them nothing. Don't let them know nothing. Moving silent. Keep it to yourself. Keep it a secret. Keep it cute. Keep it classy. Keep it moving. Keep them watching. Keep them guessing. Keep them guessing. Keep them hating.
I plead the fifth. Back up. That's none of your biz. Hold up. That's none of your biz. 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 I'm moving inside.
Hey everybody, happy Tuesday. How are y'all doing? I know it's later than I usually go on, but hey, I'm here. I definitely want to release content on 2 channels tonight because I plan on skipping a few days, okay? So with that being said, hit that like button on your way in here. Hit that like. Let's try to see what we can get done tonight. And yeah, so I do have some information on Quiet Storm and also information on Ada Santiago. And as I always say, my goal is to keep everyone updated and informed as we proceed and move along on what's happening with these cases that we are involved in and reporting on and looking into, right? So we're going to start with Ada Santiago because that's a shorter report. And then we're going to move into Quiet Storm. And when I tell you Quiet Storm, his story that he told us on YouTube is very, very different from the story he told, the statement he gave to the police about the incident. When Quiet Storm came to YouTube, he was making it seem like it was just, his daughter came and then he wanted to forcefully remove her from his home, and it was just domestic violence. However, in his actual statement to police, he said something totally different and very damning and guilt-ridden. It's like very much so guilty. It's like someone trying to paint a story of an incident to justify why there might be semen, or why there might be his body, why they might find DNA evidence of what happened. And he tried to justify it in a way that is trying to blame it on the victim blaming and victim shaming. So we're definitely going to get into that. But first, let's go ahead and talk about Ada Santiago. And before I get into Ada Santiago, I also wanted to touch on a couple of things. I know people are people tune in for the mess as well. Okay. But tonight is not going to really be focused on a messy topic. Okay. This channel is versatile. I don't just I'm not a one trick pony. I cover a number of topics. So with that being said, I wanted to address a few things tonight because I don't know when I'll go live next. First of all, there are some people coming at me, and let me tell you, I have not forgotten about you. I'm just busy. I have a real life outside of YouTube. But baby, just like I handle everyone else that comes at me, I will handle you too. And that's not a warning or a threat. That's like a promise. So best believe I'm not an easy target. Everyone that has always thought that DaniRobertson, was an easy target because of how I talk. Yeah, I can talk like this, conversational and down to earth and just like this. And I can also rah and get loud. I know how to code switch and switch it up, baby. Let's go. So don't underestimate me, because those that do, they regret the day they underestimate DaniRobertson. Okay, so let's be clear. So with that being said, I want everyone to pay attention to how people respond when they get called out. I normally ignore the basement, but as of late, I responded to a few lies and allegations and pretty much debunked some of these basement folks, right? So I want you to pay attention to how people respond to my receipts, my debunking, and my statements when they get called out. Do they respond with receipts, or do they just run their mouth? Or the key thing with basement people, they deflect. Pay attention. Do they answer the questions that I pose? Are they sticking to the topic? Or are they bringing up a new topic, new lies, and new allegations without addressing the key questions or the key points that I mentioned? That's a classic case of deflection, which a lot of narcissists do. Or they will point the finger back at me and say, Dani this and Dani and that. And what you will notice the whole time, thank you so much, see Tracy right here, you will never see a receipt. A receipt won't be in front of their face. And if there is a receipt or something like a document or something, it will be unrelated or irrelevant, or they will misinterpret it or misquote it, misstate it, and it won't have anything to do with the actual question that I mentioned. And one thing that I have always been taught, and I always do, is when I ask someone a question, it's kind of like make a mental note of that question in your head. What is the question? And when they are talking and talking and talking, because they will go all around the world, beat around the bush, bring up a million topics. And then you refocus and recenter and look at your question that's mentally noted and say, did they answer this question? And most of the time with the narcissist, the answer will be no. What they would do is say a million other things or a totally different argument to change the topic, to deflect, or to make you the person in the hot seat and ask you some questions. And I would give you an example with the Ada situation, which we're getting into. Every day during the Ada whole situation, I would say, post a receipt of the pictures you have. Post a picture of the picture you have, and then we can see if it's the old 70-year-old picture or from Google. I will ask them to post a receipt, and every day they will only argue and talk about my receipt. They never posted their own receipt. And that went on every day, y'all. We kept on every day. We always had a new receipt for Ada. We kept on every day. This side had receipts, proof, evidence. And that side never produced one receipt, but they always had something to say. They always ran their mouth. They always lied. They always spun. They always did this and that. And fast forward, The side with the receipts was us, and the side on the side of right and the truth is us. And now they're all pointing fingers at each other, trying to blame each other for everything. And it's not just with Ada, it's every topic I cover. Even with the quiet storm situation, people were on here saying that the daughter is lying, the daughter is this. And I said, no, 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 no. Quiet storm is lying. And people still would go against me like I'm the bad guy because Quiet Storm is fighting for justice for Angie Stone. He's fighting for justice for Angie Stone. And I'm like, no, he's a rapist. And oh, it's domestic violence. He didn't do that to his daughter. I said, yes, he did. And ladies and gentlemen, trigger warning, trigger warning. The receipts I have tonight confirm exactly what is I suspected. Trigger warning. The topics tonight will be triggering for those who are, essay victims. Okay. So before we start this episode, and topic, like I said, some descriptions may be disturbing or triggering to listeners. If you or someone you know has experienced sexual assault, help is available. And you can call the National Sexual Assault Hotline, RAIN, at 1-800-656-HOPE. Again, that's 1-800-656-HOPE. They also have an online chat at online.rain, and that's NNRAINN.org. And keep in mind that you are not alone, and reaching out is confidential, okay? And that service is available 24/7. So I'm not going to discuss the quiet storm now, but I will say the results for those that have to turn in and go to bed early because it is the weekday. That lab reports were done, and that quiet storm Tony Burrows, his semen, and on 1 out of a trillion chances of it being anyone else's semen was found inside of his daughter's vagina. And I hate to be that graphic, but we have to keep things how reality is. And that's why, ladies and gentlemen, without even having this, I believe the victim. And I knew that he took that plea deal and he skipped out on going to trial because he knew the results of that sexual assault kit, as I told you before. And he knew that he was going to be nailed. And when I tell you that his statement about his daughter, trying to blame her for what happened, is completely different from the narrative he gave everyone else on here. And to be honest, I probably need to replay that video of him giving his YouTube statement and lying to everyone on here saying it was just domestic violence. And yeah, so we're going to get to that. But let's go ahead and start with Ada Santiago. Oh yeah, let me actually finish my first thought when I was talking about receipts. I've watched people respond to my latest videos, especially on my backup channel, and the responses are quite telling. People are ignoring the key points and key statements about how I said they sent out fraudulent subpoenas when they were not supposed to, with lawyers' information on it. That's not addressed, right? They're not addressing the fake forensic chat GPT voice analysis document that I clearly broke down, showing that it's made from chat GPT. There's no addressing that. And there's no receipts of someone hiring a lawyer, retaining a lawyer, getting a price quote from a lawyer, or stating why they need $1,000 when I said that it's $405 to file. And where's they say they have a lawyer that they're working with. What lawyer? Where's the receipt? So people are coming to their microphone but not addressing anything at all. I just hear their mouth moving, no receipts. Some people online love to talk a big game, but when it's time to prove anything, they come with excuses, anger, and attitude, hoping that yelling louder and deflecting and yelling louder than the truth will fool people. But you see, on my channel, on this channel, we move different. I don't do these money grabs and it's these fake fundraising, GoFundMe or YouTube begging, scam grifting stuff. I don't do that. Okay. I don't beg for quick cash fundraisers with no proof. If I were going to do a fundraiser, I will actually show proof of where the money is going. Now, I have done like back to school giveaway, but that's with my own money. It's my own money that I'm giving back to the channel or to the community. And then sometimes people will send money while I'm doing it and say, hey, I'm adding on to it. And during my live, I will say this will be added on. And now we're at this balance or that balance. I do a public accounting of it. And then everyone gets their money and no one has came for it at all ever to say they never got their prize. Okay. So with that being said, there's no public accounting for when people are doing these fake money grabs and schemes, right? And I don't yell, I got a lawyer, and then vanish or not show receipt. When you hire a lawyer or you have some sort of agreement with the lawyer, show the email communication with the lawyer, show the receipts of what lawyer it is. If the public is paying for the lawyer, then the public should know what the lawyer's name is and the quote and retainer fee, right? Show evidence and proof of why you need $1,000 from the public and do a breakdown of that cost. Because DaniRobertson, I'm waiting for people to file their frivolous lawsuit. What are you waiting for? File now. See, you're hoping that I don't want you to file it, but the truth is I want you to file it so everyone can see how frivolous this is, so we can get the ball rolling. You don't want to because you probably spent the money already. You probably spent the money already on some Wendy's 4 for $4s. And you're making excuses now because you can't produce anything and you don't have the money. You're probably waiting, I don't know what, to probably raise more money. But someone that is clearly not monetized and with, she was a Jag minion. She was with Jag as a Jag minion. And we saw her covering up all Jag's lives. So she's a scammer. Okay, so I want to see these receipts. No talking, show receipts. And I want you to go ahead and file your lawsuit today. And I'm like, oh, it's Canada. Girl. And if you say, hey, I need 1,000, where's the receipt that you need 1,000? Show us the lawyer. You say you talked to a lawyer and the lawyer said 1,000. Well, what lawyer? What's the lawyer's name? Because I thought when what's his name was trying to send you a cease and desist, you called the law firm. You said, what's the lawyer? Where's the lawyer? We want to know the lawyer you're going to. What lawyer? It's charging you 1,000. Show us that. Where's the contract? Where's the receipt? See, on here, I bring receipts. I bring proof. If I say I filed something, I can show the paperwork. When I said I was going to sue you, I didn't beg for money. Did I go to my subscribers and say I beg for money to file a lawsuit against you? No, I did it myself. It's not my subscribers' responsibility. My bills and my ventures and what I want to do is not my subscribers' responsibility. I have the money or I don't. And if I don't have enough money, then I don't need to get on here scamming and grifting. I need to get another job. Duh. And so everyone can, she's even pulling it up like, okay, I said I filed something and I didn't lie. Where's your document? Where's your filing? And then there's other lies you're saying as well. But I'm not even going to address all your lies because you're stupid and I'm going to allow you to be stupid. See, another thing you're doing is you're going live and you're doing the same thing you did with the Ada situation. You keep on trying to ask me questions and ask me questions. All y'all ever do is keep on trying to ask me questions, and y'all want me to keep on showing y'all receipts and showing y'all receipts and showing y'all receipts and showing y'all receipts and showing y'all receipts. And then y'all never show us anything. Aren't y'all sick of it, Avengers? Isn't this the same thing I said during the whole Ada situation? That every day we keep on going live, showing receipts, showing receipts, showing receipts, showing receipts, showing receipts. And they always keep on asking us for more receipts, and they never gave us any. Even to the very end, we still ain't got no receipts. Because she said she got rid of the picture. Nothing. So no, this side is not going to keep on answering questions and helping and assisting and giving and giving and giving while y'all over there lying and scheming and grifting and without one receipt. If I talk about a case, I bring evidence, not a sob story. My chance was about receipts over rents. It's not about and making up stuff. And compare that to the other ones screaming online right now. They claim they need $1,000 for filing fees and a lawyer, but they never show a retainer, a contract, or even a letter from a law office, even an email from a law office. They swear they got a forensic voice exam, but they refuse to name the examiner, refuse to show the receipt, and refuse to provide a verifiable report. They claim they have a team of lawyers, but then they have a whole lawsuit and not one lawyer, but they're pro se. What happened to their team of lawyers? These are the things these liars say. And when they go live, they can only try to ask me questions. Dani, can you answer this, answer this, answer this? And I'm saying, what have you answered? Not one thing. So moving forward, if I am ignoring the basement, it's because I'm refusing to show more receipts. I'm refusing to answer questions to people that never show receipts and never answer any of my questions or never direct. There's no more one-sided bullshit to where I'm always, and then they're always using my receipts. What do they know about Ada and what's really going on? They're waiting for me to go live so they can know what's happening with Ada, so then they can use my receipts and their videos to go back and forth with my fucking receipts. Oh yeah, you're in my bushes every time, in my bushes, waiting for what I have to say about Christ, or what I have to say about Ada, what I have to say about this, everything I have something to say about it. Always in my bushes, lurking for my receipts. And then they say Dani is a liar, Dani is this, but they're always using my receipts and my words in their commentary as their evidence. But keep in mind, they only call me a liar when they're upset and mad. Because press 1 in the chat, if you recall, Maggot is one of the people who actually said that Dani always has the receipts. She always does the research. She's good at that. That's the narrative. Dani is an empath. She's a super empath. She has too many feelings and emotions when she was trying to, be friends with me. But then now I'm a narcissist. How can someone go from a super empath to a narcissist? Yeah. So with that being said, if it was real, they would be proud to show the proof. If you had a real forensic examination voice analysis and you paid top dollar for an expensive forensic expert, you would be proud to show off your forensic exam and say you got your forensic examination and provide proof of what you did. You're bragging about the cause, but you refuse to show the cause. If it's so brag worthy, why isn't it show worthy? And then you say, oh, I don't want to show who did the exam because it's ChatGPT that wrote it. Clearly, I proved it. Miss ChatGPT. And then now Miss ChatGPT is upset. Timmy Tuckett is upset because I She's upset because I exposed that she used ChatGPT for all her documents because she was pretending like she was Johnny Cochran and writing up her own lawsuits when it's ChatGPT the whole time. So yes, I'm gonna call you Miss ChatGPT since it gets under your skin so bad. And then we have Teddy Bundy, who issued fraudulent subpoenas pretending to have a lawyer when she's pro se. That's fraud. And then her subpoenas were thrown out. But she's not going to have a conversation about why a pro se person representing themselves put their lawyer's phone number and lawyer's email and lawyer's address on documents to try to subpoena information, committing fraud. And then that's why she was denied. The subpoenas were quashed and she was denied a motion to compel. She's not going to talk about that fraud, right? So I showed on my backup channel proof that it was quashed and denied. So a pattern you will see before I get into the topics, that you will see no receipts from the basement, random fundraisers and money goals. It's always collecting money for this and collecting money for that, and not really showing proof of where the money is going or where it's actually spent on. Oh, I'm getting my hair done, and then they show up on camera with the same raggedy matted wig. Yeah, clearly. Oh, I'm getting my dog vaccinated, but where's the receipt of your dog getting vaccination? Your dog is not being taken care of. The fur on your dog is matted. It's matted fur. The dog is not properly in a room that's ventilated with all your smoking and drinking and stuff you're doing around the dog, and in a high stress environment because you're always yelling and screaming. I've been live for 31 minutes and I haven't screamed not once. There's no need to scream. Some of y'all get online, y'all just scream. There's sometimes I can get loud too, but on regular videos and general topics, there's no need to scream the whole lot. That shows a sign of immaturity. Where's your inside voice? Do y'all have an inside voice? That's how some of y'all are very childish, and you can tell you never really had a job or anything because you don't have an inside voice. And then also there'll be a lot of excuses, tears, and yelling when you question them, deflection when you question them. And let's keep it real, anger is not evidence. A story with no paperwork is just entertainment, not the truth. So that's why my channel was different. I don't dox people for no reason like she does. All you gotta do is wave a fan around and laugh at her, and then you get doxed. Yeah, if I dox, it's only in response to someone false doxing me, and I gave them numerous warnings to back off and leave me alone, and they continue to do so, and I have no choice but to defend myself after several warnings. We're different. I don't scam, and I don't get on here begging for things that I should take care of myself. I move with proof of what I'm saying. I don't put up a document in front of you and then lie about what it says. Okay, so yeah. So the next time someone comes to you, and when someone comes live, I want y'all to ask this question while they're talking and talking and talking. All I want y'all to ask in your brain is, where's the receipt? Since day one of my arrival on YouTube, I have told everyone, please do your research and always ask every creator, including myself, for receipts. Is it fair that I, DaniRobertson, and the Avengers, that we always have to have receipts and receipts and receipts? And then everyone else can just go live without no receipts, and they can just make up lies and make up bullshit. Think about it. Every topic is the same thing. We have the receipts and they just go live running their mouth. And then they ask us for receipts and then use our receipts. Okay. So anyways, with that being said, let's go ahead and get into Ada, Santiago. So with Ada, I want to clarify about what I said about Ada, okay? Now last time we only looked at the docket report, and the docket report is only going to be about a court document, that and like the online document portal, and it will say something like the statute and things like that. And you can look up the statute and try to figure out what it is trying to say she was charged with. And when I looked up the statute, it said, I have to look it up again, but it pretty much was saying that by mistake, and it said something by mistake. And when I clicked on it, it was about like packages or something being delivered or something by mistake, and then you keep it. You don't make your due diligence to return it or get it back to the rightful owner. Now, when I get the police report, it actually means mislaid. So I don't know if there's a discrepancy or what. I have to go back, but it says now that it says mislaid property. Mislaid property is when someone leaves something, and most people will say, oh, they lost it or something, and then you take it knowing that it's not yours. Now, some people think it's a thing like finders keepers, losers sweepers. But if you go into a car rental place, like let's say Enterprise, and you see a phone like an iPhone sitting there, and you try to you take the phone and want to keep it, and you try to conceal it, and then the person comes back and says, hey, does anyone have my phone? And you say no, and you get caught, you get caught with the phone, then now that's theft. So that whole thing, finders keepers losers sweepers, not in this case. Okay. So with that being said, let's go. That's what's happening with Ada. Okay. So hold on one second. It's about an iPhone that was left behind, and let's get to it. So let's see. The date was June 13th, 2025. Now, what's interesting is saying that it wanted to subpoena both of them, like Ada and her boyfriend. Now, press 1 in chat if you were here, and I told y'all that I had a feeling that her boyfriend was involved. I had a feeling that her boyfriend was involved in this as well, because she is the type of woman that would choose a man over her kids, and he seems very problematic in that he will get her in all sorts of trouble. And sure enough, her boyfriend is involved, and y'all not say he's involved. It's crazy. Let me take your ass to bed if I get my belt on you. So let me go down here. And it says, I, Sergeant Sean Moore of the Swatara Township Police Department, do hereby state I accuse the above named defendant who lives at the address set forth above with violating the penal laws of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. And it says, I ask that a warrant of arrest or a summons be issued, and that the defendant be required to answer the charges I have made. I verify that the facts set forth in this complaint are true and correct to the best of my knowledge or information and belief. This verification is made subject to the penalties of Section 4904 of the Crimes Code relating to unsworn falsification to authorities. This complaint consists of the preceding pages number 1 through 5. I certify that this filing complies with the provisions of the Case Records Public Access Policy of the Unified Judicial System of Pennsylvania that require filing confidential information and documents differently than non-confidential information and documents. So there's no need to read that. So, of course, Ada Santiago. Let's scroll down. So right here, It says theft, property lost, etc. by mistake. Now, let me tell y'all, it did not say that on the docket. That's not what it said. Theft of property lost, mislaid, or delivered by mistake. Now, that's what it said right there. I think right here, this one. But this is the actual one right here. Theft, property lost, etc. by mistake. And then the other ones, theft of property lost, mislaid, or delivered by mistake. So I guess it's more like the mislaid one. So this, I guess that statute could cover this as well as mislaid. Okay. Acts of the accused associated with this offense. And it says, in that on or about said date, the defendant did come into control of property, namely an iPhone 13. So either way it goes, I'm just clarifying the record and letting everyone know it's not about something that was delivered to her and she kept. This is about an iPhone 13. Okay, let's go over it. In that on or about said date, the defendant did come into control of property, namely an Apple iPhone 13 belonging to Phillips. I blotted out the name. Okay. Phillips, which said defendant knew to have been lost by mistake, and with the intent to deprive the owner thereof, said actor did fail to take reasonable measures to restore the property to a person entitled to have it in violation of Section 3924 of the Pennsylvania Crimes Code. And right here, it says right here, defendant. So both of them, the interesting, I'm tired, y'all, so give me a break. Okay. So the interesting thing about this is that when I look up the court records, I have to look again, but I don't really see Lewis, the boyfriend, like his actual case. Like, it, I don't really see his case like in the docket. Like, I see that he's added to the complaint, but I don't see him added to the actual docket, like for a court. And for that, what I mean is, like, the police has to make a police report. And then from there, the DA has to, press charges based on evidence. So a police report was definitely made that includes both defendants, Ada and her boyfriend. But on the actual court docket, I'm only seeing Ada so far. Okay. But I will keep looking. But right now, I'm only seeing Ada so far. And sometimes it could be because he has a weird name. I mean, not a weird name. Let me stop saying weird. He has like two last names, Louis Jeremy Ramos Diaz. And sometimes that can lead to errors when you're trying to search. Okay. Making sure that. So I will double check, but right now I have Ada's, okay? And she has a warrant also. So right here it says request for subpoenas. I request the following be subpoenaed in the above case. The Ted Rowe person is from Enterprise. They wanted that person from Enterprise to be subpoenaed for this case. And then also Phillips is a woman, a girl, is the victim, and that was her iPhone that was stolen. Defendant Ada Maria Santiago. It says, at the above listed date and time, I was in full Swatara Township Police uniform operating marked patrol unit 1429. I was dispatched to the Enterprise car rental located at 2222 Paxton for an active theft of a phone. I arrived and met with the caller, Phillips. She explained that she arrived at Enterprise to return a rental car that she had. She said that when she went inside, she must have either dropped her phone or left it on the counter. She left briefly before realizing she lost the phone. She reported that she went back to Enterprise as her cell phone was still pinging at the location. So she reported that she went back to Enterprise as her cell phone was still pinging at the location. She went inside the business and activated the phone's location ringtone. She said that she noticed the tone near a group of other customers. Uh-oh. She initially confronted a female who claimed that the tone was from her own iPhone which she showed to Phillips. Phillips initially believed the female until another unknown witness told Phillips that this female had her phone. Shout out to Shell. Thank you so much for the fan funding. Super Sticker says the truth teller will always rise above the fake and the fabricators. Yes, the good news is since my time on here, the truth always comes to the light. The truth always comes to the light. Initially, it's always people swinging and lying and making up stuff, and then the truth always comes to the light at the end. Okay, it's the same pattern. I go through this with almost every topic I talk about, going against other people, and then at the very end, the truth is on this side. And I hate to keep on saying that, but it's the truth. The truth is on this side. I have never seen it ever happen that the truth is on the opposite side, besides on this side. Okay. And that's because I stick to the actual receipts. And if there is an issue or error, I will correct it so we can have the correct information. So let's go back to here. Again, she initially confronted a female who claimed that the tone was from her own iPhone, which she showed to Phillips. Phillips initially believed the female until another unknown witness told Phillips that this female had her phone. Phillips checked again and found that her phone was now off. I think they meant to say and found that her phone was now off. Okay. It says phone twice. The boyfriend of the female Phillips confronted, then attempted to leave after Phillips called police. They stopped him and said he had to wait until police arrived. That was when he pulled Phillips' phone out of his pocket, claiming that he had found it in the parking lot. So there y'all have it. Lewis, the child abuser, is saying that he had found the phone in the parking lot. Okay. Phillips initially believed the female until another unknown witness told Phillips that this female had her phone. And then she checked again to try to hear a tone, whatever, but the phone was not off. And the boyfriend, which is Lewis, the female Phillips confronted, which is Ada, we already know, then attempted to leave after Phillips called police. So they tried to leave after Phillips was calling police. They were trying to leave. Now, that's a dead giveaway. Like, come on. They called police and now y'all trying to get out of there. Y'all trying to get out of there. And by the way, all y'all people who say they raising money to get their kids back, they at the car rental place. They probably done scam some money to go get a car rental or do something. They stopped him and said he had to wait until police arrived, like a citizen's arrest or a stop. Like, people try to leave, but people said, no, y'all ain't leaving. We got to find this girl phone and y'all are acting suspicious. A customer in here has said that y'all took the phone. People be watching. They might not have thought that people are watching, but if that girl left her iPhone in one of those seats or chairs, then somebody might have been watching out for it. And then now when she came back looking for it, that other person was like, I know who got your phone, girl. She do got your phone, right? And then on top of that, it's pinging and it's going back to Ada. And Ada, that was when he pulled the girl, the victim's phone, Phillips' phone, out of his pocket, claiming that he had found it in the parking lot. Busted. And then now let's continue. It says, I made contact with the female suspect, Ada Santiago, and her boyfriend, Luis Ramos Diaz, inside. Karma. Santiago was adamant that she did not pick up Philip's phone. Still lying. Even after I provided her with the facts of people witnessing her with the phone, she continued to deny this. Liar. Sounds like Jimmy Tuckett lying about shooting that gun at her, coming at her neighbor and stuff like that, until she realized that they had evidence of it, evidence. Ramos Diaz then told me that he found the phone laying in the parking lot. I urged Santiago multiple times to simply tell the truth about the incident, but she continued to say she never had Philip's phone. Girl. And don't you understand that most places have cameras? Most places have cameras. It says, I made contact with the enterprise manager, Lynch. He said that no employee saw Santiago pick up the phone, but they did witness her manipulating it as they were trying to turn it off. So when she was trying to turn it off, I guess when the victim left and then came back and trying to do it again, she was trying to turn that shit off really fast before that girl could come back in there. And so one of the employees did witness her manipulating it, trying to turn it off. Lynch later advised that the incident should be captured on the business's video system, but they will only release it when a search warrant was issued. If you're just getting here, you have to start from the beginning because I can't repeat. I made contact with the enterprise manager. Okay, so they needed a search warrant to get the video footage, okay? And these are just statements. Okay, so June 10th, 2025, it says search warrant for video obtained and emailed to Lynch. Ooh, they got that search warrant for that video footage from Enterprise. The warrant was then later served and the video was obtained from Enterprise. I was able to later review the video, which shows Ramos, the child abuser boyfriend, and Santiago, the deadbeat mama who put makeup over her kids' bruises of child abuse bruises. And Santiago in the business. Okay, I was able to later review the video, which shows Ramos and Santiago in the business for an extended period of time. At 11:47, Ramos, the boyfriend, is seen passing the victim's phone to Santiago. Santiago then conceals the phone in the chest area of her bodysuit. You see, ladies and gentlemen? Ramos is the one that got the phone, and then he passed it over to Santiago, his girlfriend, Ada, and then she conceals the phone in the chest area of her bodysuit. The victim confronts Santiago and the group at approximately 11:50. So like 3 minutes later, the victim confronts the group. The group denies having Philip's phone throughout the encounter. So she comes back like only within 3 minutes and they deny having her phone. And then as it states, Santiago, Ada is seen turn the phone off because if you remember the victim leaves, and I guess that's when Ada is seen trying to turn the phone off, and there it goes on camera, child. Due to the circumstances above, it is clear that Ramos and Santiago found and kept the victim's phone with the intent to deprive the victim of said phone. I am respectfully asking that a summons be issued for both Ramos and Santiago for the one count of theft of mislaid property. So both of them should actually have the step charge. And like I said, I only saw Ada, but I'll look again tomorrow when I have, some rest, whatever, to see if the DA actually followed through and pursued his as well, which it should be there, okay? But I'll check. But for right now, I'm letting you know what I have. So that's what happened with Ada. And so, again, Ada, you are going to be on an episode of For My Man because you're doing all kind of stuff for your man and getting you caught up in all sorts of stuff. And you have to take responsibility for yourself. You're a grown woman. You got all those kids. Like I think it was like 5 kids or so that's in the system now that you should be trying to get back. And the man you're with, is a big time child abuser, and you help cover up the child abuse. So you are a child abuser as well. People that cover up child abuse and allow their boyfriends or husbands to do stuff to their kids or anything to their kids, they're also abusers. They're endangering the welfare of their child, and that's why she got that charge. And to the point where she actually was covering the kids' faces with makeup and stuff, right? So anyways, that's the update with Ada Santiago. Let's go ahead and move on to Quiet Storm. No, Ada did not show up to court. And I wonder why. There's too much evidence. So I would say my last video, yeah, they didn't show up. Ada has a warrant. She doesn't have a warrant for this one. They requested a warrant for the theft one. She has a warrant for not showing up to her child abuse case. And the reason she didn't show up, in my opinion, is because she feels like they might be looking for her for the theft charge. So she doesn't really probably want to show up for the child abuse one, thinking that they'll keep her, right? So I will be updating on Ada Santiago, and that's what they get. I'm not surprised that they're caught up in more stuff. And, you know, Ada was on here saying that she's trying to get her kids back and doing everything she can to get her kids back. But as soon as you see her with Lewis, who is the main person, she's a child abuser as well. However, he's like the top head leader of the child abuse. So with that being said, the moment she decided to stay with him and not get rid of him and to fight for her kids, stay with a man. I would say watch my 80 videos. I can't go over everything, but stay with the man that threatened to make one of her kids go missing, beat on her kids to even the smallest toddlers from there. I think the smallest one was it 3 or something like that, had bruises from head to toe, from ankles to head to ankles, a knot on the head, a bump on the head, and put makeup on a little boy's face, the youngest, to try to cover up his child abuse injuries to his face. So if you're interested in Ada, obviously check out my Ada videos. But of course, Maggot, that's another reason, one of the top reasons I don't like her as well, is because she was the biggest mouthpiece and the biggest one in opposition, covering up for Ada and the child abuse. And every time I had all these receipts I would have on Ada, and all the receipts the Avengers would have, she would go live and lie. And now she has admitted that she was I was in a cult of Jag, and I was brainwashed. That's why I was going against everything, and I was defending Jag. She's a liar. And what I want everyone to understand is that she's still a liar. Before she was lying and covering and grifting and scamming for Jag. Now she's lying and grifting and scamming for herself. So yeah, a zebra has not changed. Okay. So that's why I always call her Maggot and never will fuck with her. So with that being said, only report to me about Maggot if she actually files a lawsuit and stops scamming her audience out of money. Okay, a frivolous lawsuit. With that being said, let's move on to the next topic of Quiet Storm. Now, when it comes to this topic, if I see any victim shaming, any victim blaming, or any of those sorts of verbiage or topics, you will be blocked from my channel. Okay, it doesn't matter if a victim was drinking. It doesn't matter what the victim was wearing, what the victim said, or what any of those things to justify someone being raped. So if I see any of those statements, you will be blocked. A lot of y'all throughout your life maybe had a drink, but just because you had a drink or you got drunk, that doesn't mean that you deserve to be great. Okay. Yeah, she was using Jag. She uses everyone as a clout chase, and she's mad that I wouldn't allow her to like use me voluntarily, not involuntarily. She clout chases off of me. Oh, and let me say this as the last thing. The reason she doesn't want to file a lawsuit is because that would end her content. She doesn't want to end her content. I am her content, and without me, she doesn't have content. So filing it will end her content. So that's why she doesn't want to. Okay. Anyways, moving on. Again, trigger warning, trigger warning. We're talking about essay topics. If that is a trigger topic, please step out. Now, this is 153 pages, and most likely I will not be going through all 153 pages. Now, a lot of it, I will say, is actually redacted. Okay. So this happened in 2019, and the victim is Quiet Storm's daughter, Smokey. Okay. The type of weapons involved were hands and feet, etc. Okay. The suspect, of course, is Quiet Storm on YouTube. Tony Burrows. At that time, he was 59 years old, and for those in the back, he was 59 and his daughter was 34. Hold on one second. I want to say this really quickly. On my channel, I do not like when people reincarnate and start a new page just to flip flop or change sides. There are people that do that. I can tell. I'm not going to give you all the secrets as to how I know. Just know that if you reincarnate and come back in this channel or chat under a new page, trying to be nice and sweet and be like, hey, Dani, hey, everybody, trying to act like you're a newbie when you're actually someone that's old and you have been here for years, trying to have a new and fresh start. You know, everyone likes to have a new start or a fresh start sometimes, especially if they made a wrong decision or a wrong choice in the past and they actually want to, you know, switch sides. I've had a number of subscribers since I've been on here switch sides. Like they were on the other side, and then they switched over to the Avengers. And if you realize you were on the wrong side or you're on the wrong side and you want a chance or you want to switch over, you need to ask me for it from your original page. You need to message me or reach out to me and say, hey, I apologize for attacking you and or doing this or that to you and saying this or that about you, or I was wrong about this or that, and ask for a chance to actually switch over. Don't just create a new page. I'm more forgiving with subscribers than I am with creators, because creators have a platform and a higher responsibility for what they say and put out there. Subscribers, sometimes they come in here and they could be fooled, scammed, or tricked, or lied on. And then one day they might get an aha moment, or they wake up and say, oh my gosh, it's not, yeah, I'm on the wrong side and this isn't right. And they actually want to have a change. And that's fine. However, do not reincarnate. Don't just start a new page and try to trick me into liking you under a new page. Number one, that's weird, and number two is creepy. And also is immature. A grown up actually rights their wrongs, makes amends, makes apologies, or writes things, and then starts a new slate, not to try to trick someone into giving you a chance or whatever else. So with that being said, I prefer people to reach out to me and ask to be unblocked on their real page than to start a new page pretending to be new when they're not. Because over time, it's going to be obvious that you're not a newbie and that you've been around for a long time. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I don't know why some of y'all try to pretend like y'all are new when it's clear y'all been here for years or months, because y'all know too much information to be a newbie. That's only one sign. That's some other signs. Even that one person plotter talks about stuff from years and years ago, way before their page was created. That's a troll page. Okay, a troll page, a new page that was just created within a year, should not know anything about old nosy whole live days of 2021. You're obviously a troll and reincarnated page. So with that being said, new pages that are less than 3 years old and I've never seen you before, you're automatically suspect. And just because you might be floating around in the chat and I'm letting you live, it doesn't mean I don't have an eye on you as someone that I feel has reincarnated. Okay. But I'm just letting you know, I prefer that you actually reach out to me instead of trying to pretend like you're new. Okay. I'm just saying, I'm not stupid. A lot of y'all might think I'm stupid, but I'm not. It means that I see that you're new. I see that you are reincarnated and not new. There's a difference. So yeah, it's always so all pages that are less than 3 years old, you are suspect to me. I'm letting you know. So it's always better to just ask to be unblocked and request a chance to make things right. Otherwise, your new page will never really be trusted as genuine. I'll be honest. You might actually be in here and even now, but I'm still going to not see you as a real genuine page, but a reincarnated page. Okay, so with that being said, I also allow trolls as parody pages. Okay, so I know what's a genuine account and what's not. So just because I allow you doesn't mean I believe that you are actual real page. Okay, I just accept that you are at least a nice troll page. There are some malicious troll pages. There are some nice ones. Okay, there are some people that are web sleuths. Web sleuths are people that scour the web or do research. A lot of them are from Lipstick Alley, and they have these web sleuth page. They are helpful as far as information gathering and things like that. So I know the difference between these. So please understand, I'm not a dummy. I know the web sleuth anon pages, the this or that. Okay. And that's all because I'm a person that has been around for 4 years. I understand how things work and move. And I'm also a web sleuth. Since I'm a web sleuth, I understand other web sleuths. And I understand that you want to be anonymous, just like I'm anonymous. Okay. But let's be clear. I understand the difference between a web sleuth page and a real subscriber, a regular subscriber. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get into the topic. Just want to throw that out there. So with the sexual assault on April 19th, 2019 at about 13:28 hours, while on uniform patrol as 2M753, I was sent via dispatch to the hospital on a SA type case. I arrived at about 13:34 hours. Per the victim, the incident occurred at the residential apartment building located at, I'm not going to give all these addresses and info. Okay, I'm going to skip that part. I'll say residential apartment building. Initial observations. Upon arrival, this officer went to the blank hospital emergency room located at blank Punahou. The victim was said to be located inside emergency room blank. Upon entry into emergency room blank, this office observed the female victim, later identified via a Florida state driver's license as Smokey is the victim, okay, lying in a hospital bed, accompanied by 2 adult females identified verbally as blank and blank. Both blank and blank were present to provide emotional support. Oh, that is so great that at that time she had people there to provide emotional support, right? to Smokey. After speaking with Smokey, she related that the name on her Florida State driver's license was her married name, and that her current last name is now Jess. Hold on. And then it's blank. And it says she's 34 years, female, verbal statement obtained. And on April 19th, 2019, at about 13:45 hours, this officer met with blank inside hospital emergency room, and it says blank appeared sober and coherent. Smokey stated that on April 17th, 2019, she was drinking Canadian whiskey in the lobby area of the Hawaiian residential hotel building located at blank Avenue. After drinking in the lobby, Smokey stated that she went to these are Hawaiian words, okay? Kahuio Beach, where she continued to drink and eventually swim in the Pacific Ocean. After swimming, she returned to the Hawaiian apartment building and ascended to apartment blank, where she was staying with her father, Quiet Storm. Smokey related that she took off her wet clothes and changed into dry clothing before sitting on the bedroom floor and conducted a Facebook live chat with the camera in the off position. Smokey stated that at this point, she does not remember what happened, but only remembers waking up and finding her father having unconsensual sexual intercourse with her. Smokey related that she had abrasions on her left knee as a result of the incident and complained of pain to her throat. Smokey thinks she may have been strangled but cannot say for sure. Additionally, she does not know whether she was choked from behind or in front. Smokey stated that she has the clothing that she was wearing at the time of the essay, along with her father's underwear. Smokey related that she did not give her father permission to have sexual intercourse with her and wishes to prosecute. Injuries, treatment. Smokey had a visible abrasion to her left knee and complained of pain to her throat. Smokey was being treated for the sex assault, and an SATC was to be performed. Hold on one second. So that was on April 19th, 2019. And that happened on April 17th, 2019. Because what happens is, it's good, like the sooner the better. The SATC kit should be done immediately, as soon as possible, after the incident, to make sure that, that for the best evidence gathering. Okay. So it happened April 17th. So I'm going to look later to make sure the exact day they did the testing as well. Okay. Okay. At 14:12 hours, Sergeant E. Higa was apprised of the facts and circumstances regarding the essay. At 14:13 hours, Lieutenant Matsusaka was notified and apprised of the sexual assault. Her our sprinkler would be assigned to the case and respond to the hospital. And it says crisis worker on scene at hospital. Crisis worker Lewis was present at the hospital and spoke with the victim. At 14:57 hours, this officer requested a follow-up be sent to the Hawaiian apartment building in an attempt to locate and arrest the rapist, Quiet Storm. There is sufficient probable cause to make the arrest. The potential evidence in the form of the victim's clothing and suspect underwear were left at the hospital for the detective to recover upon interviewing the victim. So she also took his underwear that he had been wearing as part of evidence with her, right? Detective Spickler, well, I said Sprinkler, but it's Spickler. Detective Spickler requested that an officer hold the scene at the above address so that they can execute a search warrant. On April 19, 2019, Detective Spickler and SIS evidence specialist L. Murakami arrived on scene at about 2015 hours to execute the search warrant. At about 2050 hours, the scene was released. Disposition referred to initial. Now, some of this stuff I already showed before. Some of these attachments, PDFs, and other Quiet Storm documents. Adult arrest charge. So we already showed the police footage already. I already showed the police footage of him being arrested, even though it's heavily redacted. He was 59 years old. They have him as 5'9", 190, stocky, bald, black, ugly as fuck. Synopsis: on the above date, time, and location, I was sent to locate a sexual assault first suspect by the name of Tony Burrows. We will name the actual rapist. I have had previous police contact with Tony Burrows before. Upon meeting with Tony Burrows, the Quiet Storm YouTuber, he was positively identified via military identification. Quiet Storm was placed under arrest for sexual assault first, disposition pending. It says, I am currently assigned to District 6, 3rd Watch Uniform Patrol Detail as the call sign 3B658. I was attired in full Honolulu Police Department Class A uniform with police badge and patches, affixed and operating marked patrol car 1762. On April 19th, 2019, about 14:54 hours, I was sent via dispatch to Kaluna, Kailani Avenue, Waikiki, on a grape case. This was later classified as a SA case. I arrived about 14:56 hours and says referred to initial report for scene and time element of offense. Scene of arrest is fronting Kailani Avenue in Honolulu, about 24 hours. I was instructed by dispatch to locate and arrest a sexual assault in the first degree suspect by the name of Tony Burrows, the Quiet Storm YouTuber. This request came via District 7 Corporal. I have had previous police contact with Quiet Storm, so I was familiar with what he looked like. Upon arriving to Kailani Avenue, I attempted to locate Quiet Storm by going to his residence. Blank. Upon knocking on the door of, I think that was there was no answer at the door. A resident then stated that Tony might be in the unit 305. Checks upon unit were met with negative results as well. Another resident stated that they had seen Tony walk away from his residence a few minutes prior to our arrival, heading toward Coa Avenue. Subsequent checks were made of the surrounding area for Tony with negative results. Suspect contacted a resident of Kailani Avenue was able to contact Tony and ask him to return to his residence so that police could talk to him. While waiting for Tony to return to his residence, I perused the report initiated by Corporate Hellbring. Upon reading said report, I concurred that there was enough facts and circumstances to arrest Tony for the offense of sexual assault in the first degree. About 15-20 hours, I met with the male who I know from previous police contact as Quiet Storm fronting Kailani Avenue. On April 19, 2019, about 24 hours, Quiet Storm identified himself via his military identification. The military identification had his name and date of birth year. On April 19, 2019, about 24 hours, I placed Quiet Storm under arrest for sexual assault in the first degree and direct violation of HRS 707-0730. The arrest took place without incident and our injury. Quiet Storm was handcuffed behind his back. The handcuffs tension were checked and they were double locked for his safety. Quiet Storm did not complain of any pain to the hand due to the handcuffs tension. Pat down. I conducted a pat down on Quiet Storm, searching for weapons, fruits of the crime, and our means of escape. I was met with negative findings. On April 19, 2019, about 24 hours, Sergeant Cam was notified. He arrived shortly after and was apprised of the facts and circumstances of the incident. Sergeant Cam was notified that Detective Spickler was already assigned to the case. Sergeant Cam notified Detective Spickler shortly after his arrival to the scene. Quiet Storm did not complain of injuries when asked, nor did I observe any visible injuries. Quiet Storm also stated that he is not currently sick, but is taking prescription medications for seizures and diabetes. Quiet Storm was treated at Blank Hospital and seen by ER Dr. Inemasu. Quiet Storm was treated and released and deemed fit for incarceration. Quiet Storm was prescribed medication. The medication was subsequently picked up from Long's drugstore and brought to the Central Receiving Division. Referred to attached medical paperwork for further information. On April 19, upon my entire interaction with Quiet Storm, he was calm, cooperative, and polite with all officers involved. On April 19, 2019, about 15:43 hours, I transported Quiet Storm in marked HPD patrol car 1762 to the main police station for booking via Blank Hospital. I arrived at Blank Hospital at 15:54 hours. I left at Blank Hospital at 18:31 hours and arrived at the main police station at 18:39 hours. All transports took place without incident or injury. The backseat area of the patrol car was checked for contraband prior to placing Quiet Storm in, and once again after removing him from the patrol car. All checks were made with negative findings. At no time while Quiet Storm was in my custody did he eat, drink, smoke, or regurgitate any substances. Desk Commander apprised. Central Receiving Division Commander Lieutenant D. Solon was apprised of the facts and circumstances of the arrest. Lieutenant Solon concurred and accepted the arrest of Quiet Storm. And then there's going to be a lot of photographs that are redacted. Obviously, when an essay case like this, there's going to be evidence that's not for public consumption or viewing. So let's skip through those. Facts and circumstances for probable cause for arrest. I, Jordan Cho, a police officer herein, author referred to as your affiant, is currently assigned to District 6 3rd Watch Uniform Patrol and have been employed by the Honolulu Police Department since December 1st, 2014. That on April 19, 2019, about 14:54 hours, your affiant was sent to Kauai Avenue in an attempt to locate an essay and the first degree suspect by the name of Tony Burrows, herein author referred to as T. Upon arriving at Kauai Avenue, T was not at his place of residence. Checks were made with other residents of Kauai Avenue to see if they had seen T. Today, residents stated they had seen T a few minutes before police arrival walking toward Koa Avenue. Checks were made of the surrounding area for T, but were met with negative results. A resident of Kauai Avenue was able to get in contact with T and asked him to come back to his residence. While waiting for T to come back to his residence, your affiant perused the initial report completed by Corporal Helbling, herein author referred to as Corp Helbling, to find out the facts and circumstances of the incident. Helbling reported that on April 19, 2019, about 13:45 hours, Corp Helbling interviewed complainant Smokey herein often referred to as S, to find out the facts and circumstances. Um, the victim, Smokey, stated that on April 17, 2019, she had been drinking alcohol at blank Cowie Laney Avenue before heading to Kuhio Beach to continue drinking and to go swimming in the ocean. Smokey did say that she returned to Cowie Laney Avenue to change out of her wet clothes and change into dry clothes. Smokey did remember sitting on the bedroom floor to conduct a video chat. After that, Smokey only remembers waking up and finding her father, Tony Burrows, having unconsensual sexual intercourse with her. Smokey stated that she has abrasions on her left knee as a result of the incident, and also complained of pain to her throat. Smokey stated she did not give Tony Burrows permission to have sexual intercourse with her and wishes to prosecute. Tony Burrows eventually returned to Cowie Laney Avenue, where I met with him fronting this address. Tony Burrows was then positively identified via his military identification as Tony Burrows with date of birth year as 1959 and matching picture on said military identification. Due to positive identification being made on April 19, 2019 at 15:24 hours, your affiant placed Tony Burrows under arrest for essay in the first degree, which is by the way, I'm trying to read a little bit ahead because I didn't go over this document fully to make sure I'm not going to say certain things I don't want to say. So bear with me. Which is in direct violation of Section 707-0730 of the Hawaii Revised Statutes. The above facts and events occurred in the city and county of Honolulu within the state of Hawaii. So right here is the Honolulu Police Department evidence report. And they collected in evidence bedspread, of course, the bedding, fitted sheet, bra, flat sheet, and things like that. And it says the bedspread floor print recovered on top of the bed. Fitted sheet white has stains recovered on top of the bed. Fitted sheet white recovered on top of the bed under above item 26. Bra black, brand size smart recovered on top of the bed and the bedding. And the flat sheet white has possible blood-like stains recovered on the side of the bed. And then right here, evidence, other DNA reference sample consisting of a buccal swab was recovered on April 20th, 2019 at 15:45 hours from, the grape is at the central receiving desk. Now, I know some of this stuff is repetitive, so I want to make sure I'm not going to read the same thing over. Hold on. On April 19, 2019, I was assigned to District 6 Uniform Patrol as 3B654. At about 15:05 hours, I was sent via dispatch to the vicinity of Hawaiian blank, located at blank Cowie Laney Avenue, Honolulu, as a follow-up unit to locate a sex assault suspect. I arrived shortly after. The scene of the incident was Hawaiian blank, located at blank Cowie Laney Avenue, Honolulu, Hawaii. The suspect was located on April 19th, at about 15:24 hours. Per dispatch, Corporal Helbling requested a follow-up unit to proceed to Hawaiian Blank to locate sex assault suspect Tony Burrows. Per initial report on April 17, 2019, at the Hawaiian Blank, daughter victim Smokey was sexually assaulted by father suspect. Shortly after arriving to the area of the Hawaiian Blank, suspect Quiet Storm walked up to the property. I recognized the male from prior unrelated encounters at the Hawaiian Blank. I asked if Quiet Storm had any form of identification on him. He provided me with a U.S. military ID card bearing the name Tony Burrows with matching photograph. The identifying information provided verbally to me by Quiet Storm also matched CRS information, query personal information, one fall. Arrest was made. Officer Cho subsequently placed Quiet Storm under arrest. So it looks like different officers are giving their statements, okay? So again, I'm not going to read every officer statement. We saw the police footage. Most it's different officers arrived at the scene to arrest him. So this officer says, upon arrival, I activated my body-worn camera and made attempts to locate the suspect. Checks of the unit were met with negative results. Other tenants related that they just saw him leaving. So it's repetitive right here. And there's some more photographs that are redacted, but there are some photographs that are not redacted. Yes, they have the DNA conclusion, and you must, for those getting here late, I discussed that at the very beginning as well. So you have to probably wait until my live ends to catch the replay. But I'm actually gonna go over the DNA as well later. Okay. And yes, for those that missed it, trigger warning. Semen was found inside of her vagina. That matches him, and there's only a 1 in a trillion chance, so it's a 1 in a trillion. So with that kind of result, that's why he went ahead and pled, because he already knew that was going to send him away. I think it was actually 8 trillion, but I have to go back to it. Just follow along and I'll get to that point. If you're just getting here, make sure you support my channel for free just by hitting the like button. It looks like everybody has already hit the like button because the likes are matching. I definitely do appreciate it. I appreciate it, y'all. With 200 and something watching, we still have 200 likes. That means everybody pretty much hit it. I greatly appreciate it. Okay, so let's continue to scroll through here. Yeah, he's not really on as much, and that's good. That's what happens when people are canceled. People don't really take it seriously when I say they are canceled. But I'm not trying to be whatever, but if you're in certain sectors and I try to make my way into that sector, which I did get into that Angie Stone sector, he's canceled. We said he's canceled. I mean, it doesn't mean that you're not going to have no audience or no people. It just means that you're canceled for the most part. Ooh, maybe make better choices. So with that being said, it needs to be canceled. Most people that get canceled is not like just, oh, you're canceled. It's because of their behaviors, defending child abusers, doing certain things. Even Maggot platformed him and was defending him until, pay attention. Maggot was defending him and put him on a platform and told everybody to respect him. And look at the results. She said, oh, and don't forget, she said, so Dani lied. She tried to throw me under the bus and try to say Dani lied, like call me a liar. And look, I have the results in front of me. I did not lie about anything. The daughter did not lie about anything. His semen was found inside of her. Okay, there's no lies here. So let's continue on. That's why I said wait for the receipts, because people will lie and make up stuff. And there's a lot of people that have been swinging, coming over here saying it's just domestic violence, and no, it's not. And even after this, there will still be liars. So keep in mind, liars will always find another way to lie. They move the goalpost to a different lie. Hold on one second. I'm change this view. So this is just showing inside the actual crime scene. The images are different directions, so I have to spin it around every now and then, okay? So we can see right here how things were laid out, right? Yeah, he be acting like he be balling out. He got a bunch of money. I got a high price lawyer. I got this. I got that. That's not someone that's. And by the way, I'm not knocking anyone that's less fortunate. I'm saying that's not the closet of somebody well off with like the number. Child, that's not the closet of somebody well off with a lot of you know. So I'm just scrolling through the pictures. Hold on. So right here in this box right here, this is so he was lying on his daughter saying she was waiting for a shipment of illegal drugs. And in this box is not illegal drugs. That's one of her shipment boxes. That's not illegal drugs in that box. That's TENS units, which is TENS units are a small device that delivers like mild electrical currents to the skin to help relieve pain. It's widely available for personal use and is often sold online or even in pharmacies for like physical therapy. So that's not a box full of drugs. That's something that she had, like it's TENS units. In the United States, it's legal to buy and own. Many are FDA cleared as over-the-counter devices. Okay. Elsewhere, like let's say Canada, UK, You can also buy and use this without a prescription. Okay, so with that being said, you cannot like market it as a cure for disease or anything that's outside of FDA approved purposes. But otherwise, he's acting like she's getting illegal shipments, but illegal drugs, you know. Now, what is going to happen is with the perpetrator, as I explained before, perpetrators are always going to victim blame and victim shame and make the victim into the guilty person so they can play victim. And I had said a million times, what if she stole all his money and stole all his property from his home? If you were to steal something from everyone's home, like, so, you know, does that mean that you should be great? So his excuses for his behavior is weird. Someone stealing from you is not, it does not give you the right to grade the person. And even, you know, he said he put his hands on her and it was just domestic violence. And people say, oh, he didn't rape her, it's just domestic violence. That's not true. And by the way, for all y'all people saying that, guess what? He didn't tell the police that same story. He told the police a totally different story about what happened. He told y'all that he grabbed her and tried to force her out the house to get her to leave because he didn't want her there. And that was it. He told the police a whole different story. When I say a different story, I was like, oh, my mouth dropped. I'm like, oh, it's like a totally different story than he told YouTube. Matter of fact, I need to see if I can get that old video of him, of his side of the story. So that's one of her shipment boxes, and that's not illegal drugs. She had 10 units that I just described, okay? Okay, now we're getting into the essay med legal files PDF, okay? As attachment. And also other reports, okay? So let's get into it. Now again, this is going to be heavily redacted. And again, this is a sensitive report and a sensitive topic, so you're going to expect a lot of redactions. And sometimes, to be honest, you won't even get anything when it comes to sexual assault cases. You won't even get any files or anything because of the sensitive nature of it. Okay. So with that being said, you can expect heavy redaction. So this is actual DNA reference sample and about the DNA's results. Okay. A DNA reference sample consisting of a buccal swab was recovered from Tony Burrows. Please refer to the evidence reports on pages 2 to 3 of this report for more detailed information regarding the submitted item. Item 1 was submitted to the HPD evidence storage locker blank on 4/20/19 at 1846 hours. Hold on 1 second. So I want to make sure I give clarification. A buccal swab means inside the cheek, okay? A cotton swab like Q-tip is rubbed on the inner cheek of your mouth to collect cells from your cheek lining. Those cells contain your DNA, which can be used to identify you, compared to crime scene evidence, or upload to a DNA database. So pretty much, I guess, like a buccal swab is like a mouth Q-tip test to collect your DNA without any needles or blood. Okay. So buccal. And okay, let's go ahead and look at this report. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. It's heavily redacted for not just the victim, but the perpetrator as well. They don't even show his images in this report. So it's not just the victim, it's the suspect too. Hold on. A DNA reference sample consisting of a buccal swab was recovered from, I read that already. Activity location, central receiving desk, activity photos, full length, and it says full length frontal photos of blank, front, left, right, and rear sides were taken, as well as an identification photo. Close-up photos were also taken of tattoos on blank right and left arms. The SD card containing 13 images was submitted to the Honolulu Police Department report system. So CRS stands for Case Report System on April 20th, 2019 at 707 hours. 707 hours, it says right here. This test is accredited under the laboratory's ISO IEC 17025 accreditation issued by ANSI-ASQ National Accreditation Board. ANAB referred to the certificate and scope of accreditation. The unit was found to comply with the requirements of ISO IEC and the supplementary requirements for forensic testing. So forensic testing was done. The scope of accreditation includes crime scene investigation, latent print processing, and biological screening. This report does not constitute the entire case file. The case file may be comprised of worksheets, images, analytical data, and other documents. This test report shall not be reproduced except in full without written approval of the laboratory. Photos were taken of apartment blank showing the bedroom where the assault reportedly occurred. Recovered evidence such as a bedspread, 2 fitted sheets, and a bra from the bed, and a flat sheet recovered on the side of the bed, bathroom, etc. The SD card containing 24 images was submitted to the Honolulu Police Department Case Report System on April 19, 2019. A sketch was made of apartment blank showing the bedroom, bathroom, and the location of the recovered evidence, items 25 through 29. The completed computer-generated diagram can be found on page 3 of this report. Evidence was recovered from apartment blank, and it consisted of a bedspread, two fitted sheets, broad and flat sheet. Please refer to the evidence reports on pages 4 through 5 of this report for more detailed information regarding the submitted items. Items 25 through 29 were submitted to the Honolulu Police Department evidence room on May 3rd, 2019 at 18:23 hours. Quality assurance statement. This test is accredited under the laboratories. I already read this before, pretty much showing that the test is accredited and it met quality assurance. This report does not constitute the entire case file. I read that before. The case file may be comprised of worksheets, images, analytical data, and other documents. This test report should not be reproduced except in full without written approval of the laboratory. So this is actually a crime scene. They're trying to pretty much how we viewed the room in the pictures. This is the drawing of how the scene looked, where the bed will be, the closet, where any desks or things will be. Non-scale diagram, so it's not drawn to scale. And this is the evidence collected, which I already went over. Let's scroll down some more. Again, evidence collected. And items are underpants. Let me go back up one more thing. Underpants collected, no. Dry secretions, bilateral nipples, yes, was collected. Oral swabs, was not collected. Known sample buccal swabs from, Tony Burrows, yes. Known sample blood collected, no. Fingernail scrapings, right hand, no. Fingernail scrapings, left hand, no. Vaginal swabs, that was definitely collected from the victim. Rectal swabs from the victim, and other external vaginal swabs from the victim, and further vaginal and rectal and other external vaginal, and also the dry secretions. They are testing for and are screening for P30 and Y. Okay. Okay, let me go back up for a second and see something. Where was it? Okay, that's the same thing. Scroll down. So pay attention to right here, or the screening, not right there, but for the dry secretions for the nipples, because he was doing stuff with her breast as well. Putting his mouth on her, he was putting his mouth on her breast. That was in the report. And then, so dry secretions on bilateral nipples collected, yes. And they were also looking in that for P30, which is they're trying to see if semen is present. Okay. So for P30, it was checking to see if semen is present. So that's why you would see it at the vaginal, where he sexually assaulted her vaginally and anally. So for vaginal and rectal, you'll see P30. They're testing for semen presence, and also external vaginal swabs for semen. Also, they're trying to test for that. And then a buccal swab was also gathered from him as well. And then right here, testing information. When multiple swabs are collected from an item, a portion of each is combined to create a sample. Report date is April 30th, 2019. So it looks like about the report was completed about 13 days after. I'm not saying she took the exam 13 days after. I'm saying the report date was the completed report date. Okay. When multiple swabs are collected from an item, a portion of each is combined to create a sample. The P30 protein is found in semen. It may also be present in other bodily fluids such as male urine, female urine, and breast milk. It will also degrade over time when found in body cavities. The purpose of widescreen / DNA quantitation is to determine how much male DNA Y in human DNA is present in a sample. Insufficient amounts of either will result in an uninterpretable STR DNA profile. The purpose of a DNA extraction differential non-semen is to isolate DNA from a sample. So up here, when it says P30 and Y, it's showing that what they're screening for. So they're screening for the presence of semen, and also for the presence of Y. Okay. Let's go back here. The purpose of a Y screen again is Y screen / DNA quantitation is to determine how much male DNA Y and human DNA is present in the sample. A differential extraction is a specialized DNA extraction method used to separate sperm cells from non-sperm cells. The differential extraction produces two samples from the original sample, a male or sperm SP fraction and an epithelial cell EC fraction. These fractions will be identified by the letters SP or EC following the DNA sample identifier. The separation procedure may not be 100% effective. Consequently, some carryover between the two fractions may occur. The DNA extracted from the items listed above were amplified using the polymerase chain reaction PCR and tested with applied biosystems quantifier trio DNA quantification kit and the global filer STR short tandem report typing kit. Dry secretions. So these are the conclusions. Dry secretions for the bilateral nipples. Screening for the presence of the P30 protein. Remember, P30 protein is semen. On sample was negative. Screening for the presence of male DNA on sample blank was negative. Insufficient human DNA detected. Small target on sample. No further testing was performed. For the vaginal swabs, and also keep in mind that when you are sexually assaulted, the sooner you can get in to be examined, the better. I have to go back, but it looks like it could have been a delay in getting. It wasn't like immediate. Okay, I'm thinking it could be 2 days, but I have to go back because it said something about the 17th, and then it said something about hospital 19th. But she reported it right away. But I'm just saying that I don't know when the actual SATC kit was done. I have to go look and see if it was the same day or not. I can also ask her to see. Hold on 1 second. So with that being said, let's move to so let's go to the vaginal swabs. That was the nipples area. We're going to now. A lot of times you're not going to expect the P30 protein, which is they're looking for semen on the breast area. Okay, So, but however, for the vaginal swabs, here we go. Listen, screening for the presence of the P30, which is the semen, they're looking for on sample, and then it's talking about his quiet storm was positive. So when they did the swabs inside of her vagina, his semen was found inside of her vagina. So for all the people out there windmilling and swinging for him, this is what I was telling you before, that sexual assault kid found his semen inside of her. So that's why he was pleading out and trying to get take a deal. Screening for the presence of the P30 protein on, that sample was positive. So they took the swab inside of her vagina, and then his semen was found in there. And there's no reason his semen should be inside of her body. Epithelial cell fraction. And then they're talking about him, right? So screening for the presence of male DNA on sample blank. EC indicates an insufficient amount of DNA to produce an interpretable male DNA profile on that portion. And it says the DNA profile obtained from the sample blank matches the DNA profile of Tony Burrows. And it says, blank is excluded as a source of DNA obtained from the sample blank. And it says right here, let's go down. Sperm. Now, this is the sperm fraction right here. It says screening for the presence of male DNA on sample blank was positive. The DNA profile obtained from the sample blank is consistent with a mixture of two individuals. The major DNA profile obtained from the sample 20 matches the DNA profile of blank. In all populations evaluated, African American, Asian, Caucasian, Hispanic combination, the probability of randomly selecting an unrelated individual with a DNA profile matching that of the major DNA profile from this item of evidence is 1 in greater than 8 trillion. So 1 in greater than 8 trillion. This calculation is based on the 20 FBI core STR, Loki, and SC33. So blank cannot be excluded as a possible contributor to the DNA mixture. Hold on 1 second. So with that being said, that's why he went ahead and took a deal, because he already realized he was going to get nailed. There's no way to get out of her, your DNA being inside of your daughter. Hold on. I'm not DNA, but semen inside of her. Hold on 1 second. Why is it doing that? But yeah, so her exam was not done immediately, and so that can affect results as well, because if it's not collected immediately or done immediately, some of the evidence is already going to be degraded or not be fully there. And sometimes people after being sexually assaulted, they will actually feel dirty and they will actually take a shower, and then that could be a bad thing, because now you're washing away potential evidence that they could try to find outside of your body. I even like take cleaning. So with that being said, since her results were not done right away, and for some testing, it's not gonna, it's gonna be inconclusive or not enough DNA to actually make a, but with that being said, the good news is that if you think about it, inside her vagina, that's the area that's going to be hard to get rid of all evidence, because that's internal. So vagina swabs inside, that's going to be hard to get rid of all evidence. But if, someone sucking on your breast or doing something to your breast, that can easily fade off over time. Okay. Inside your vagina, not so much. That's still going to be evidence of that inside. And then outside, it still can be another way where it's not going to be as conclusive. So the good news is that, I'm not saying good news as in it's good. I'm saying that there was the evidence collected, that there was evidence of him sexually assaulting her, and that was still a good sample, and that matched him. And yes, one and greater than 8 trillion. So yeah, so 100% you're guilty. Okay. Now let's move down here. And like I said, the most damning evidence is, wow, y'all listen to what he actually says to the police. And of course, he hid all of his videos, so no one can go look at his videos on his channel. So then they looked at the rectal area and screening for the presence of semen protein, like the protein for semen. For the rectal area, they were not able to find anything for that one. So they did not find one for anal, but that doesn't mean it did not happen. It means that they were not able to collect evidence of that, because her test was not done right away. Okay. However, they did find evidence of his semen inside her vagina. And if you actually know anything about vagina versus vaginal anal, there are differences within those two areas too. So with that being said, then right here it says no human DNA tested on sample. No further testing was performed on that one. And then they did the external vaginal swabs, which is the outside the vagina, of course. The screening for the presence of the semen on that sample was also positive. So they did find semen on the outside of her vagina as well. It was positive, and it says screening for the presence of the male DNA on sample blank indicates an insufficient amount of DNA to produce an interpretable male DNA profile. So they found semen, but it wasn't enough to make a DNA profile. But let's be honest here. You finding his 1 in 8 trillion, his semen inside her vagina, you already know that outside the vagina is also his, but due to degradation and time and evidence fading off and things like that, and wearing off, then it wasn't a good enough amount of it remaining to make a profile out of it. Okay, the DNA profile obtained from the sample blank matches the DNA profile of blank. And it says, and I wish they didn't have all this blacked out. And it says blank is excluded as a source of DNA obtained from the sample. And by excluded, a lot of these things are also talking about the victim as well, okay, on certain things. But with the blacked out, you have to actually go and look at certain things about like what's blocked out and what's not blocked out. Because as you can see, one has -Q1 and one has -K1. So when I have more time to look over this, I can actually see who they're referring to by looking at Q1 and K1. Okay, but I told y'all when I started this, I was tired. Okay, but that's how I even did Ada's report. I was able to see who they were talking about by looking at what was not redacted. And then right here it says screening for the presence of a male DNA on sample blank was positive. The DNA profile obtained from the sample is consistent with a mixture of 2 individuals, and it says blank cannot be excluded as a possible contributor to the DNA mixture. Due to low levels of DNA, no conclusions will be made regarding that as a possible contributor to the DNA mixture. Due to the close biological relationship between the victim and suspect, it is highly recommended that the data be sent to an expert for additional interpretation and kinship statistics. So with that, so let's go give a brief breakdown because they did different ones. For the external vaginal swabs, that's inconclusive because there's not a sufficient amount of DNA there to make a DNA profile. But there was semen found there, but they cannot make a DNA profile, a male DNA profile as to who it belongs to. As to her rectum, they did not find anything there at all by the time they did the test. And then, and keep in mind, if someone even decided to use a restroom or do certain things, that can also get rid of evidence. Let's say someone does the number 1 or number 2, and it's like days later that this test is done. And guess what? That can get rid of evidence too. and even wiping after you use the restroom. People have to still use the restroom. So you have to keep in mind how evidence can easily be destroyed. And then now let's go up to the actual inside of her vagina. And that is the one right here that nailed him. 100% match that his semen was found inside of her vagina. Okay. And that's that one. And then as far as her breast, they did not really find anything there either. Okay. And why she said her throat was hurting because he did strangulation. So that's why he strangled her. So that's why her throat was hurting. So is there any questions as far as the results of this DNA testing? So again, the nipple area, bilateral nipple, no semen, no male DNA, basically nothing useful was found there. And keep in mind, nothing useful was found. It doesn't mean that nothing happened in that area. It means that by the time the test was done, the evidence was not sufficient enough to make a good DNA profile to say yes or no. As for vaginal swabs, which is inside the vagina, semen was found, and the DNA from sperm matched the suspect, Tony Burrows. So his semen was found inside her vagina. The report literally says the chance it came from anyone else is less than 1 in 8 trillion. So it's less than 1 in 8 trillion that it came from anyone else. This is the best and the strongest proof that the suspect's semen was inside the victim. As for the rectal area, the swabs for the anal area, they didn't find any semen, no male DNA. And again, that could be due to degradation and because of the time between the testing. No evidence of penetration was found there. And then there's external vaginal swabs, outside area. Some semen was detected outside the external vaginal area, but there was a weak DNA mixture, so it was not enough to make a full confirmation. But the suspect cannot be ruled out as part of that low-level mixture. It's just that, so they can't say, oh, it's not his. It's just saying that they can't rule yes or they can't use no, but it is present there. But common sense would tell you if it's found inside and there's, 1 in 8 trillion, we already know that whose semen was outside. Now, I have to actually, I'm going to finish some more later because there's some more statements, but I know most of y'all probably want to hear his statement. So let me actually go to his statement. Hold on. All frequency estimates were calculated using CODIS pop stats. Hold on. And it says the following DNA profile will be uploaded to the Hawaii State DNA Index System and the National DNA Index System. The DNA profile will be continuously searched in both indexes, and a notification letter will be sent in the event of a hint. So because of his semen being found in her vagina, as you can see, the vaginal swabs, they're actually wanting to make sure that, so if someone else is assaulted, and they run this, run that, like, try to figure out like the sperm, they pretty much, if someone else is assaulted, they will be able to determine if Tony Burrows is responsible because they now have his semen. His semen was found inside his daughter. So they have that match, right? So, and that's why they took the vaginal swabs, because that's the one that would have the semen in it. Okay, let's see here. And it says this test is accredited under the laboratory's ISO IEE accreditation issued by NZ ASQ National Accreditation Board. So this is a accredited test. Okay. And it says in compliance with the FBI quality assurance standards for forensic data testing laboratories. So this report has been subject to an independent administrative and technical review prior to release to ensure that conclusions and supporting data are reasonable and within the constraints of scientific knowledge. Okay. So this is actually a real certified test, accredited, done by accredited forensic testing laboratory. And this is just like a graph chart of the same information. If you look, bilateral nipples, and then you see negative right here. And then that's showing ABA card for that P30, the presence of semen protein. And then vaginal swabs in the second right there, row right there. And then that came up as positive for that semen protein, as you can see in that column for P30. And then the rectal swabs, there was nothing found there as far as the semen protein. It's the same information. And this is what I was talking about, that forensic analysis voice comparison that Timmy Tucker posted. Usually this is how something is set up. They'll have information in a chart or graph, and they'll also have information, a descriptive section that actually gives the descriptions and things as well. They'll have both. And Timmy Tucker's hers did not correlate or have the same sort of setup. So you can kind of tell the difference between a report and a real report. A real report would have, like, it shows accreditation. It would tell you which laboratory, which criminalist or forensic expert has performed the test and the analytics and how they conducted it, and what type of screening, what type of testing, where they collected the samples and things like that. This is what you would typically expect for a forensic report. Okay. And if you actually pay attention to even how it's set up, it's not like objective findings as such as a research document or paper. This is actually set up as a forensic report. And they're also using certain wording and verbiage and vernacular specific to that field of forensics. So if you don't understand the words, you just don't understand it. They're not going to dummy it down in layman terms for anyone else. So that's how you can tell that Timmy Tucker's forensic voice analysis shit is fake. And then, so right here, so rectal swabs negative, and then external vaginal swabs that turned as a positive result. But again, not enough DNA to actually make a DNA male profile. Hold on, let me go back up. And then the second one, right here, was the widescreen for detection of male, right, DNA. And then it goes to the same thing as far as bilateral nipples, epithelial, cell fraction, sperm fraction. It's the same thing. That we just went over, but this is gives you a chart. And that's why it's like laughable, because people making fake reports, they don't even know that most people should know what a real forensic report looks like. So with that, I'm not going to go through this chart because, number one, this is not my field. And this is what I want you to understand. A real forensic report is not going to worry about people that's not in the field. If you're not in the field, you better learn, you got to research and understand the chart and what they're doing, okay? And their codes and things like that, okay? So that being said, I'm going to skip over this part, but this is their scientific breakdown, forensic breakdown of that. Now, could I learn this really quickly? Yeah, but am I going to do that right now? No. I just read the conclusions. So, but some things like this, I can, as a lay person, I can just read the conclusions, okay? And that's what I did. But this is how a report should be, a real forensic report. It's going to be scientific, just like this, okay? You hear that, Timmy Tucker? So let's scroll down. A sex assault evidence collection kit was received from SATC crisis worker The sex assault collection kit was used to recover biological and non-biological evidence from. Okay, I'm actually going to skip this part because this is going into the victim, and I spent enough time on a victim for today. I want to actually focus on the perpetrator, and then I'll come back to the victim on another live. Again, it's 153 pages, so bear with me. Bear with me, okay? Let's go ahead and get into what most of you are looking for. What did Tony tell the police?
It's your girl, Dani Montana, Dani Montana. It's your girl, Dani Montana, Dani Montana. It's your girl, Dani Montana, Dani Montana. Hit that light. It's your girl, Dani Montana, Dani Montana. It's your girl, Dani Montana, Dani Montana.
So this is going to be from his interrogationer, okay? Hold on one second. Hold on one second. The Quiet Storm on the radio is not to be honest, him using the name Quiet Storm messed it up. He's not the Quiet Storm that people know about on, like, people talk about as the radio host or radio person. That's not the same person. So that's the thing. I always say Quiet Storm Tony Burrows. He probably copied someone's name. But that's not Quiet Storm. That sucks that someone else had that name that people mostly remember. And now somebody else is trash, took that name and is using it. And people always think it's that Quiet Storm from the radio. And it's not. It's not. So I want to make sure that everyone understands. When I say Quiet Storm, it's not Quiet Storm, the known person that is known for radio. Like Quiet Storm, whatever. Lord have mercy. That sucks when you have like something like the same name as someone that's like that's solely the name. Hold on one second. Yes, I'm also I appreciate everybody sending me links. I'm aware of what's happening with 901 Don Diva. This is not the live for that, but I am caught up and I am aware of what's happening with that. I just haven't went live because I cover a lot of topics and I can only do one live at a time. But I'm just letting everyone know because people are sending me stuff. I have the information I need. I just haven't went live on it. Now, I was planning on going live today, but I just didn't have time. But will I go live? Yeah, and there's like a bunch of topics I need to discuss or talk about, but not enough time. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into his report, but give me like a few minutes because I want to actually pull up something really quickly. I think press 1 if you are here right now and you remember him making statements before about it just being domestic violence, and press 2 if you were not here at that time. I'm trying to see something really quickly. So I think most people here were here. Okay, so good. I don't have to go get the video because I was that's gonna take time. But anyways, I'm gonna take a 2 minute break to give me something to drink, and then I'm gonna get back. And by the way, the next part will be triggering. It contains a lot of victim shaming and victim blaming. So if you are someone that is triggered by essay topics, please, please, please leave now, because now I just showed you results that his semen was found inside her body. And in his statement to the police, it's gonna be really different from the statement he told everyone on YouTube, um, and how he's gonna try to frame this to get out of this situation. Okay, so I'll be back in 2 minutes. I'm getting me something to drink. Okay, so then I can finish out this live. Wait 1 second, and then I'll get into the rest of the report in my next live. Bear with me.
I gotta go. I gotta go. Don't ask me why. I gotta go. I should've left a long time ago. I don't even know how I got here, but I gotta go. Things have to change. I can't stay this way anymore. Change is a good thing for me. I'm tired of the same old thing. So I'm trying something new, exploring something new. I'm not afraid of starting over today. It's a new day, a new me is coming. You'll see, I see it, I believe it, gonna do it. You'll see, I gotta go. I gotta go. Don't ask me why. I gotta go. I should've left a long time ago. I don't even know how I got here, but I gotta go. I want more than this. I want more than this. I deserve.
Okay, I appreciate your patience. Let's go ahead and get to his statement. So, abuse of a family or household member. Um, this is some of his charges right here. So they had the victim interview, and then they had the suspect interrogation. Okay, so I'm not going to read the victim interview right now because we already heard her statements as well, and the focus is actually going to be on the actual rapist. At certain points, who's guilty of what he has done. So at certain points during the interview, the victim broke down and started crying. There were times where she had a hard time speaking, which is normal. And so his charge is sexual assault in the first degree, and I think they're giving probably the victim's name, but they're trying to blur it out. April 17, 2019. So again, her exam was not done the same exact day of the incident, so that affected some of the results. But again, it still nailed him because the semen was found inside her vagina. Identity confirmed. Fingerprint ID technician Daisy Lamb confirmed blank identity through a fingerprint comparison determined he was a first timer. But further facts referred to the attached HPD 207E, which was submitted under this report number. On April 20th, 2019, at about 14:42 hours, I read blank his constitutional rights. Now, first time apply for SA, but not for crimes in general. Warning, persons being interrogated of their constitutional rights. Blank stated he understood Wait, I read. I hate when they have these blacked out. I read Tony his Quiet Storm his constitutional rights and says warning persons being interrogated of their constitutional rights. Blank stated he understood his rights, did not want an attorney, and wanted to tell me what happened. Wow, you see what I'm saying? He said he understood his rights, did not want an attorney, and wanted to tell me what happened. He indicated these choices to me verbally and in writing by initialing and signing the form accordingly, referred to attached HPD 81 for other facts. A portion of the interview with Blank failed to record at approximately 33:55 into the video. The audio portion did not malfunction. Blank related that prior to the 17th, he got a phone call relating that his daughter was in the hospital in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. He called the hospital and they confirmed she was in the hospital. He talked to his daughter on the phone and she wanted to come to Hawaii to be with him. Quiet Storm related that he reminded her of the past. He related that in Las Vegas, Blank started prostituting. He advised her that he would not put up with her behavior. Keep in mind that this is the gravest statements, and what I'm about to read to you, a lot of this is lies. Most of it are lies because he's trying to paint her in a certain way. Okay, and keep in mind that he came on here and told everyone that he just grabbed her and he accidentally grabbed her breast and trying to force her out of the house, and that's how he got this charge. Now pay attention to what he tells police though, okay? He's a liar, so don't believe his statements. He related that his daughter has a history of moving from place to place, doing the same type of behavior. He related that she came to Hawaii and he picked her up at the airport. He introduced her to everyone around the property. And by the way, let me pause here really quickly. And even if someone were a prostitute, that does not mean they don't have the right to say no or they cannot be great. People think, oh, well, they sell their body anyway. A prostitute can still be great. If she says, if she or he says no, that no means no for anybody. So a lot of times they are great. Unfortunately, sometimes people don't even, prostitutes don't report because guess what? They feel like they won't be believed. And since they were, they're prostitutes, people feel like, you know, that they were, you know, they because they feel like they can get in trouble or something, or they won't be believed because of that. So with that being said, him trying to say prostituting is trying to say, oh, he's trying to play that game of she's just a prostitute. And again, he's lying, but I want you to understand his whole statement is he's lying and trying to spin a narrative. Okay. He related that she came to Hawaii. And what I'm saying is, even if he were not lying about prostituting, guess what? That's still not a qualifier for what he has done. A justification. Ooh, child. Okay. He related that she has a history of moving from place to place, doing the same type of behavior. And so what if someone were moving from place to place, what does that have to do with anything? He related that she came to Hawaii and he picked her up at the airport. He introduced her to everyone around the property. He related that he has a 2-bedroom apartment and one of the rooms is occupied by Blank. Hold on. He gave Blank the second room and he slept downstairs in the office. He related that Blank has a past similar to his daughter's. He related that he never goes in Blank's room and has never disrespected that lady in any way. He related that Blank drinks a lot and he can't put her out. He related that he was keeping a close eye on his daughter because it is Waikiki. Blank related the second day she was there, she was in apartment Blank and she was dancing sexually in Blank's room. He related that he came up and she was drunk, high, and possibly snorting cocaine. He related that they started to argue and his daughter, he's trying to say his daughter screamed, "You don't trust me." He related that he told his daughter that she was going to follow his rules or she was going to leave. He related on April 17, 2019, he was having a meeting and received a phone call at about 1800 hours from Blank. He related that she was drunk and with friends. Quiet Storm related that he received a second call from her and she was stupid drunk. She related that she was lost and did not know where she was at. He told her to take a picture of where she was. He related that he made calls to people to help locate her. He had to end his meeting to locate his daughter. He related that while he was walking back to the hotel, he received a text message from Blank stating that um, his daughter was in his office. She was drunk and he needed to come get her. He related that he went to the office to get her. He related he told her that she needed to leave and she said she was a grown woman. Blake related that he told her to go back to the room and took her by the arm and took her back to the room. He related that she could hardly walk and she started screaming, "You don't love me, man raped me and Uncle Stanley raped me." Blank related that she told him that Blank's father did something to her. Quiet Storm related that his father was a pastor and a man's man, so he did not believe her. Blank told Blank that she needed to lie down. Quiet Storm told his daughter that she needed to lie down. He related that she got up and said, "Daddy, you don't love me. Nobody loves me. I'm tired of this. I just want to die." Quiet Storm related he pushed her into the room. He related that she kept talking about killing herself and told her to stop. He related that she got up again. He pushed her back down. He related that she grabbed his neck and stated that he is the only man she could love and she could not love anyone but him. He told his daughter to stop. He related that he was trying to be a dad and she would not stop. He related that she started grinding on him and he was begging her to stop. At one point, he grabbed her throat and pushed her to the ground, telling her to stop this. He related that she told him he was not a man. He related that she told him. No, I think they messed up on a pronoun. He related that he was not a man. He was her father. Okay. He related that she told him he was not a man. He was her father and to stop. I think they messed up right there a little bit. But what I want to say is this. He's actually telling on himself. He says right here, he tries to say he related she started grinding on him and he was begging her to stop. So he's trying to make excuses to, hey, if they find DNA on her in this way or that way, I can say that she was the one grinding on me. If they find handprints on her neck, I can say that this was why my handprints are on her neck because of this. He's trying to make up a story to go along with why they would find this or why they would find that. He says right here, he related that she grabbed his neck and stated he is the only man she could love and she couldn't love anyone but him. So grabbing of the neck is what he did. That's projecting. And then right here at the almost the second to the last sentence says, at one point, he grabbed her throat and pushed her to the ground, telling her to stop this. No. Yeah, you grabbed her throat and you were, he's actually trying to tell like what he has done, but he's trying to say that it's to stop her. No, you were actually attacking her. And so he wants to make up like my handprints are going to be around her neck. They're going to realize that she was strangled. So his statement actually confirms that a strangulation, right? And that's why she said her throat was hurting because he was strangling her. And he says right here at one point, he actually says he grabbed her throat and pushed her to the ground, telling her to stop this. And go back up. He says he related that he pushed her into the room. So right here, he's actually admitting. If you actually go back to some killers and some people that do certain crimes, they tell a story and they're telling on themselves, but they're trying to blame that on the other person or twist it around. So if he pushed her into the room, I can guarantee you it's probably something like he actually was pushing her in to keep her in the room. and doing stuff to keep her in the room. He related that she kept talking about killing herself and told her to stop. He related that she got up again and he pushed her back. So in my opinion, she's trying to get up or trying to get away or do something, and he's pushing her back, because he's gonna say he's pushing her into the room, pushing her back down. So he's telling on himself in his own narrative. He related that she grabbed his neck and stated that he's the only man she could love and she could not love anyone but him. No, you grabbed her neck, and he actually admits it. He says at one point he grabbed her throat and pushed her to the ground. He related that he was trying to be a dad and she would not stop. No, you were the one, you're the one having these thoughts and these sexual feelings about your daughter and grinding on her. You're telling on yourself. This is classic projection. So, and then let's go down. It says Blake related that she agreed to, he related that she agreed to stop screaming if he promised not to leave her. So right here, he said that screaming. So she's screaming. You see what I'm saying? He's telling on himself about the actual events, but he's trying to paint it a different way. He related that he stayed with her and she was grinding on him like a scripper in a script mall. No, you were grinding on her. You were sexually assaulting her. He related that he got pissed off and had to walk. No, you realized that you were in trouble and you could be and everything else. He knew what he was doing. He did not know what to do at this point. He's telling on himself. He has committed this sexual assault. He doesn't know what to do. He probably wants to walk to clear his head. I don't know. He related that she took off all her clothes. She took off all her clothes. No, you took off her clothes most likely, right? This guy is so sick. He's actually trying to, okay, well, all her clothes will be off because she took them off herself. No, you took them off. He related he held her on the bed and she was touching his genitals. Why would he say this, in my opinion? Because he probably took her hands and did something with her hands, and then trying to make a reason for why that stuff, so his stuff would be on her hands. Telling what he has been doing while he strangled her while she's unconscious and doing all sorts of stuff, right? So he's trying to cover up what, and her hands has this on it, or this has this or that. Her throat is hurting, or my handprints are here. This is what happened. He's trying to cover up his tracks. He related that he had his shorts on and she kept pulling them down. No, you had your shorts on and you put your own pants down, sicko. He related that she was kissing on his neck. So you're telling us, listen, I'm telling y'all, everything that he said that she was doing, he was doing it. He related that she said, Dad, you're the only one I can love. I can only love you, and you are the only man who could do anything for me. He told her that this was incest and you don't do this with your father. So you already knew it was wrong that this was incest and you don't do this with your daughter. So make sure you're flipping this around, that when he's saying these certain behaviors and actions, this is him. So he's over there saying all the stuff in his head about his own daughter. And he's the one doing all these actions and behaviors, and he's putting it onto her. He related that she finally went to sleep and he went downstairs. He related the next morning she smoked weed and she was not saying much to him. He related that she walked around the next day. He related on Friday she got up and didn't say anything to him and left. He told her that this was disrespectful, leaving without letting him know where she was at. He related that she was dressed half naked. He related that if you see a half naked black female in Waikiki, she is a prostitute. Yeah, all those beaches and everything else, most people probably be in a bathing suit. Is that so? Now everyone's just gonna be a prostitute, okay? And he has like a prostitute is deserving of rape or sexual assault. This is dangerous personality. So someone is half naked, then they deserve something like this happening. They're a prostitute. Shows your mind. Half naked does not mean prostitute. He related that and even if someone were a prostitute, that doesn't mean that they deserve to be assaulted or harmed. He related that she is mad and he related that she is mad. He believes she blocked his phone. He blocked her phone number. He decided at this point that she was out. He walked to McDonald's and received a call that the police were at the apartments for him. He returned and found out about the sexual assault complaint. He related that this was not his character and that he did not have issues with women. He related that he said to himself, I hope my daughter did not do something crazy against me like she always do. Nah, you already knew what you were done, and you're hoping that she didn't press charges on you and that you were not going to get caught and she wouldn't go to the police. You probably, yeah, you were worried about her going to the authorities on you. He related, sir, I did not have sex with my daughter. It will be actual sexually. You should say, I did not rape my daughter, anything of my daughter. But of course, you did. They're coming and you say sexual assault. You say, I did not sexually assault my daughter, but you're saying I did not have, but that's how you took it. When asked when the DNA comes back, so they asked him, when the DNA comes back, will there be any sperm inside of her body, which they came back and it was. He related, he did not know. What? Y'all listen. They asked him, when the DNA comes back, will there be any sperm inside of her body? He related he did not know. He related that he is 59 years old. She was getting close to him and he was trying to hold her off. He trying to say that she was getting so close to him that he's 59 and she's getting too close to him and to see it, that semen could be in her body because of getting too close. He related that he could not say. He could not say. So he's trying to figure out now, look, I don't said all this other stuff to try to cover my tracks as to why my DNA would be on her hands, or why it would be something would be on this, or why her neck will be bruised, or handprints, or show signs of strangulation. Her saying I pushed her while her clothes were off. He's trying to cover all these tracks. And now they ask him a question. They say, listen, when this comes back, the DNA, will there be any sperm inside of her body? And that's where his mind is boggled, because he's like, oh, now that one is going to be hard to explain. Oh, I know. I'm 59 years old. She was grinding on me and she was getting too close to me. And so I don't know. He related, he did not know. He related that he was 59 years old. She was getting close to him and he was trying to hold her off. He related that he could not say. I asked if he ejaculated, and he related that he probably did, and it was not willful. So he said that he did ejaculate, but it was not willful, that he didn't want to ejaculate, he just did. So you're admitting that you don't know if your DNA, your sperm is going to be inside of her body. You're also admitting that you ejaculated. And you're trying to say it's because she got too close to you and she was grinding on you. He related that he did not go to his daughter and say that he wanted to have sex. He related that he was trying to hold her from going crazy. He related for his daughter to make an accusation that he would do that to her is crazy and desperate. He related that his daughter accosted him sexually. So he's trying to say that his daughter is the predator, the perpetrator. The interview was terminated on April 20th, 2019 at 15:27 hours. Referred to copy of audio and video submitted under this report number. Oh. So to be honest, I actually want the actual interrogation video. Don't y'all want to see the interrogation? Now, this is what the interrogation, but I actually want the interrogation video. On April 20th, 2019, I conferred with Deputy Prosecutor Attorney Ayla Weiss, hearing author DPA West. DPA West related that she accepted the 2 accounts of sexual assault first and the felony abuse charges. On April 7, 2019, at about 18:20 hours, I conferred these facts and circumstances with Judge Kenneth Shimizono, at which time he approved a high bail of $50,000. That's not high bail. See, I can't. That's why I can't. I won't. I tolerate such foolishness. I can't. I won't tolerate such foolishness. He shouldn't even get a bail. Y'all just heard someone say all this lying statements and making about all this stuff. It's sexual assault of his daughter. Y'all actually want to give him a bail? He doesn't need a bail. He's dangerous. On April 20th, 2019, at about 17:20 hours, I met with Central Receiving Division personnel and apprised them of the charges set forth, and provided them with the complaints. Desk Lieutenant Glenn Nakama was apprised. Murakami took pictures of the scene and pictures of blank. Officer Cho took pictures of blank, referred to photographs submitted under this report number. Referred to diagrams submitted by Murakami under this report number. I submitted one DVDR video containing the recorded interviews of blank and blank. So I don't want the victims interrogation. I just want the perpetrators. So I'm gonna try to get the perpetrators interrogation. On April 24, 2019 at 15:34 hours, I submitted a work request to have items tested for blood, semen, saliva, and DNA. Referred to that, and it says, on May 16, 2019, I submitted a transcript request to Honolulu Police Department's word processing section for transcript of blank. I tried to call blank to see if she could provide her call log and text messages from blank. The phone number went to recording, and it stated that there were restrictions on this phone number. It would not allow me to leave a message. Sexual assault in the first degree. So what do y'all think about that? So for all you Angie Stone sector people, naysayers, what do you have to say about the statement that he made to the police? You see the barcode right there? This is official. Don't try to say anything. This is official police. And don't get on here lying, because don't make me get that interrogation video of him talking. I'm sick of y'all out here lying. Y'all stop it. Stop it. We have a real SA victim that was sexually assaulted by her father, lying on her, making up stuff. His semen was found inside of her. Okay. So with that being said, y'all need to stop lying, stop windmilling, stop swinging for a rapist. Stop it. And that's why I told y'all before, don't come under my comments with BS. Now, if you're wrong, as a grown-up, right your wrongs and understand that you need to make sure and do your research and investigate before you start calling people a liar. The DNA shows that he's a liar. And also, pay attention. Do you want to know who he lied to? He lied to the audience, to his subscribers. Ask yourself this question. When he told you the story, did he tell you the same story that he told the police? Is this the same story he told you about his daughter and she was stealing stuff, and then he just tried to get her out the house and he accidentally grabbed her breast and that's why he got this charge? Is that the story that's here? Is it? So press 1 if the story that he told YouTube is different from what he told the police in his interrogation. And press 2 if it's the same story. And if you're actually honest with yourself, it's a totally different narrative. A sickening, sordid, disgusting, vile, heinous narrative, to the point where everything he said his daughter was doing, he was doing. He's describing his own thoughts and feelings and his own sick desire for his own daughter. And him knowing in that way that it was wrong, but he is the one that was doing all of this. And he's saying that I pushed her into the room. She was screaming. She was doing. He's actually describing the events. Isn't it sick that someone is actually describing the events of what happened? But when they're describing the events of what happened, they're actually twisting around who was the victim and who was the perpetrator of it. So to be honest, Quiet Storm, you actually gave us way more details as to what happened in that room. Because in your mind, when you were telling your story and trying to tell it, you were telling us everything you said she did, you were actually doing it. And he already knew that there was no way to get around her being strangled. So he had no choice of what it meant. So he tried to say, oh, she put her hands around my neck, and then later I put my hands around her neck. He couldn't even answer the question about why why would there be semen? He should say no, 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 no. But he was like, he didn't know. What do you mean you don't know? But yeah, I'm tired and I gotta get some sleep. But send some prayers out to Smokey and the victim in this case. And also I want y'all to keep in mind that now you can see my frustration when I have a video from Quiet Storm when he said, he looks into the camera. He looks into the camera. He says, I'll do it again. He says he would do it again. And when he looks into the camera and said he would do it again, I already knew that he was talking about sexual assault, and that's what pissed me off. And people were like, no, he's talking about domestic violence. I said, no, he sexually assaulted his daughter. So when he looks into the camera, he leans in and he's finicky. He is trying to antagonize his daughter and trying to re-victimize her with a threat of that he'll do it again. You see what I mean? So all the people out there that have been anti-Dani and anti-The Avengers for our statements against Quiet Storm, your faithful leader in the Angie Stone sector, and thinking that I'm trying to stop the movement of Angie Stone. I never tried to interfere with anything with Angie Stone. However, I definitely was going after one person, and that's Quiet Storm. And I made it clear. Okay, so shout out to Auntie Mickey that, you know, righted her wrong, and I hope others that are in that space can also right their wrong as well, as far as being on the side of Wright, and you know, and yeah, send some prayers out to the actual victim in this case. But we're gonna get into some more. I'm also gonna revisit some of those videos, because now that we know what we know, some of those videos are gonna hit some people harder as to his sick mind and what he was actually saying and doing. And I wish I had that video on hand of the one that he said he'll do it again. I think I might actually have it. Hold on. But yeah, that video right there, just knowing what we know. That was so long ago. Like in YouTube time, that was. Is it this one?
Situations as an opportunity, but women do the same. And this was an opportunity to put me away and take what I had. But I could share this with you. Everything that the devil took away from me, I gained back.
You are the devil. You are the devil that you speak of.
I have more now than I had then.
And you have to forgive yourself.
Yes, he's on the sex offender registry.
It's hard to do that.
I know that, and say that. I know there were a few of us.
I'm gonna put this up here to see. Okay, flag on the play. Okay.
Especially traveling across state lines. That's that order.
Yeah, that's his name. Repeat myself. Allegedly, he does not have Ben Crump as chat room jury. Please, it's not. It must be.
Okay, this ain't.
Yes, because you only heard part one of it. That interview is 3 hours long. Okay, so I would assume, and they dissect those out. Hermo, this is hard because you make yourself a target, putting everything about yourself on the line so people can come attack you. True or not true. And you just got to have a big heart, strong muscle, strong soul, strong mind to deal with it. And I'm going to be honest with you, my friends. I am human. I am human. So as I'm getting ready to end this broadcast, I'm going to say to you, ladies, if you are a victim of SA in any sort, me, Tony Burrows, apologizes to you. I am sorry. I don't understand the situation, but I know you have a right to feel whole. And by you having the right to feel whole, the only thing I could do is say, I'm sorry.
So this is him. He actually started saying that he was going to have like a sexual assault group and to help people victims of sexual assault, as he's going to be some sort of some lies and some shows on sexual assault to help victims. Again, playing on people acting like he just committed domestic violence and that the only reason he was on a sexual offender registry was because of domestic violence. And as we know, it's not because of domestic violence.
And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. So at this point, I will never, ever be addressing this again. Never, never, ever will I address this again. I will be doing shows on the topic, but I will not be addressing my story again. I love you all. I would be less than if I didn't tell you my heart wasn't heavy, because it is. It's not easy. But I try to do my best. Yes, because you only heard part one of it. That interview is 3 hours long, and I have not played the whole 3 hours yet. And the reason I haven't played the whole 3 hours yet is because I was gathering paperwork to back up the statements. I do have that now. And so next week, we're going to get into that. So now, for the next few minutes, I'm going to give you an opportunity to come into the show and be part of it. I'm going to put the link up.
Right.
Penny goes. If we can move on, and you can see everything that goes on. Now, there are some that says it was staged and
He goes back and forth between talking about two things.
okay. I'm gonna put this up here to see and go to my right and the banner here. Okay, and drop that right there. Right there. All right, y'all. I'm about to give y'all some hot breaking news on
Say anything to harm.
and everybody that claims a situation isn't always about the situation. And without being disrespectful to any survivor, Sometimes it ain't just what it seems. I'm going to just leave that right there. Thank you, Positive Vibe, for your comment. Consent is a subject that we'll be talking about after the Angie Stone case. There have been some shocking revelations to come out of the Angie Stone case. And you know what? Since you're here, I will go ahead and add that.
You know, and then aunts find out what's going on. I didn't know my child was doing that, you know. And I just say that I thank God for this time. And I really do pray that your daughter will find it in her heart to forgive. Because when I forgave, my first book that I put out, I didn't put it out. Let me take that back. I wrote it, and God said it was pure venom.
Wow, yeah, I remember this because we were all like, "What the girl?" Now, this person, I think, she already had left from over there once you realized the truth. So I'm not gonna keep on going on it, but yeah, this person was really annoying. I already expressed my opinion. Okay, at that time, yeah, hold on.
He was like, nobody is going to grow from this because you are so angry. I hadn't forgiven my daddy. I hadn't forgiven nobody that had touched me. But when I went back and rewrote, there was forgiveness. Now, don't get me wrong. We still have triggers. That's why I wanted to come up today to tell you that I wasn't triggered by anything that you said. I don't think you disrespected any of us that are survivors.
Stuck in Spanish Morocco. She went over there to do some things that were not legal. And the person she went there, situations as an opportunity, but women do the same. And this was an opportunity to put me away and take what I had. But I could share this with you. Everything that the devil took away from me, I gained back. I have more now than I had then.
And you have to forgive yourself.
It's hard to do that.
I know.
I'm going to be honest. It is very, very hard to do that.
And keep in mind, he was not talking about SA. He was actually talking about domestic violence. He was telling everyone it was domestic violence.
Because I have to live with the fact that I neglected her from a child to adulthood. And whatever is going on that side, I may be part of the cause because of not being there for her. I don't know what she's been through. I don't know. You know, I can tell you one time she got stuck in Morocco. She got stuck in Spanish Morocco. She went over there to do some things that were not legal. And the person she went there with took her passport. I was stationed in Greece at the time. And me and my strike unit had to go and get her. And make the people that had her passport release it.
So yeah, he spent a considerable amount of time victim blaming and shaming. That's what he did.
If you only knew, whenever there was a time of danger, I was around for it to clear it, but I had no relationship with it.
Watching this, be around, they will.
So men, stand up, do things the opposite of what I did. Be there for your children. Don't just pay the financial needs of their life. That's not enough. There has to be action with.
Oh wow! So he's on here again, preaching to everyone about what they should do with their life, how to be a father. You're the last person on the fucking planet that should be giving anyone any fatherly advice on how to be a father. Again, this is how I even knew of him. He would go from panel to panel to panel, behaving just like this as someone that's an elder that is trying to preach to everybody on how they should conduct themselves, how they should behave, how they should live their life. That's how he has went from platform to platform.
Them. I didn't do it. Never did. I can only say I'm sorry. At some point, I can't keep reliving it. I got to let it go. I have to do that.
Well, you've blessed me because so many times those of us that are survivors, and I'm getting emotional, so many of us don't get a sorry. So I pray that your daughter is listening somewhere and that she hears that Daddy is sorry. Because so many of us, we go through life where, have you ever noticed how, people, you can be beat down, you can be the one cussed out, robbed, like for yourself, stolen from, lied on, but everybody expects you to just get back up and just get over it. They tell you, just get over it, Storm. Just get over it.
Yeah.
When you're the one that's been the victim. And in a situation like this, I feel like today.
So right here, this is when she was believing that he was a victim of death by his daughter stealing from him. And then, about like him just like trying to push her out the house and accidentally grabbing her breast. That was the story. And he said since he accidentally grabbed her breast, like he was trying to force her to get out of the house, that's domestic violence. And he also that's how he got on the sex offender registry list. Come to find out, DNA evidence has found his semen inside of her vagina. And he has a whole interrogation with the police where he tells a whole different story than he told us on here.
God orchestrated, because you have a daughter on this end, even though my dad is gone. And I have a dad that's on your end, even though.
For those watching, I'm just going over a little bit of what we went through before. That person has since left his platform. And said that, they're not over there anymore. So I'm going to skip over that.
That's a petition wall.
Right.
So I'm not sure.
Yes, don't get me chat. Don't get me chat.
Yeah,
all right.
If I don't give them something, so I'm about to give it to y'all.
Yes,
So
please give it to us.
Yes, I'm going to give it to them.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. I'm going to go ahead and change this banner and put up the right one here. That's your opinion. But I'm a grown man. And I don't think that I would subject myself to the world and open up for fault or detail. But there's always two sides to a story. And everybody that claims a situation isn't always about the situation. And without being disrespectful to any survivor.
So he's trying to say that his daughter's lying about the story. That's what he's trying to say.
Because that person don't know what they're talking about. And I'm a little.
Hold on.
The beach.
Oh, that's my
In the van.
Yes.
When?
The day of March 1st.
Yeah.
Where?
Everybody knows she was in the van. We all was in the van.
Yeah, no, but I'm just asking the question because there's just so much confusion out there. Where was she sitting on the van?
Just because somebody died.
Hold on.
So you think that will cause people? Well, it did. You put that information out there to make people come after me. Well, come. Come. Because I'm not afraid. I've gone after the worst of the worst. The worst of
Yeah, but you're who's laughing now when your channel is canceled? So it looks like we got, you didn't get the last laugh in this one. Okay. You thought you were untouchable because everybody was like, please don't leave, and then now you're canceled. Your channel has died down. You're not monetized anymore. I know you're really mad at me and the Avengers at this point, and ask me if I give a damn. Nope. You deserve everything you got, and you deserve more. Shout out to Robot Collaborations. Thank you so much for getting memberships. Again, shout out to you for getting memberships. If you are getting a membership from Robot Collaborations, please say thank you for getting memberships. And also, please put some hearts in the chat. I know it's late, y'all. Please wake up a little bit and put some hearts in the chat to show love to Robot Collaborations for his generosity of getting memberships. Again, please put some hearts in the chat to show love to him for his generosity of getting those memberships. And I'm also up late trying to give y'all this updates. Okay. And I'm sleepy. But yeah, I definitely want to get this out. Hold on.
the worst. Been there, done that. You technically put a hit on my life by doing that. And
I hate to sound wicked, but I'll just be wicked. I don't give a fuck what happens to you. I don't. I'm not gonna. If you never log back into YouTube again, I wouldn't even care what happened to you. And I'm just being honest. Y'all, oh, that's so wicked. I don't care. I want him canceled, and he doesn't need to log back in. Go the fuck away, and don't hurt anyone else. And now your semen is in databases, so if you hurt anyone else, you will pop up as a match.
I thank you, because you said that I have one of the most prestigious lawyers in Hawaii, and I do. And you forget.
Stop trying to act so rich when it's clear that you don't have as much money as you pretend to be. You have scammed a lot of people, including Auntie Mickey, people with the animal stuff. And to be honest, even right now, you have a new animal business. I'm sure you're scamming those people. You have rented large buildings and ran off and not paid those people. You have went under like 1 million aliases, not online, but actually in real life. So yeah. So with that being said, like, have a seat.
That if I could pay that lawyer $150,000, it ain't nothing for me to pay them to come at.
Again, no, I'm not talking down on anyone that is not well off. What I'm trying to say is people like him that get on here pretending to be so rich, but you literally see like five shirts or whatever in his closet. That's not giving like a wide. You don't have like a wide wardrobe, or your whole situation is not giving rich. And even when I looked at your stuff, you were recently getting evicted, so you need to stop trying to flex.
You. You think that I'm some roly-poly, just fell from around the corner and decided to get on YouTube to make some money? I didn't want a YouTube channel of my own. I didn't want to do this. I didn't care about this. All I wanted to do was get the word out about Angie Stone and help relationship.
I'm sorry, but you are someone that could solely and put a taint on Angie Stone's name. You're not a good person to be representing or speaking for Angie Stone. It's not a good look. You're not a good leader for anything, Angie Stone. Justice for a Black woman, while you get on here and make threats to do it again to your own daughter, a Black woman. So I'm going to end on this video right here for tonight, y'all. And this is the video where he said he'll do it again. Now, for all the naysayers out there that were saying he said he'll do it again, coming under my video saying it's about domestic violence, it's about domestic violence, about domestic violence, like I was saying, no, it's for SA. Now that you know the truth, listen to this video with the truth in your mind. And when he says he'll do it again, it's the strangulation. It's the vaginal sexual assault. It's the anal sexual assault. It's the everything that he described and said that that she was doing, are he was actually doing it. So flip that around. And also semen was found in her vagina, and some semen was found external, like outside, externally the vagina area. And keep in mind that since the test was not done the same day, it doesn't mean that, you know, other areas were not assaulted or groped or anything. It just means that time fades. Everyone knows that DNA is best immediately. The sooner the better to collect, especially on bodily parts that can lead to degradation, and people washing their body, using the restroom, different things like that, vaginally and anally. Like urinating, going to the bathroom can get rid of some DNA. Wiping yourself. If you go to the restroom and wipe yourself, you're going to be wiping some DNA away from your body. If you use the restroom, even number 2, you're going to be excreting things and getting rid of evidence. And even wiping yourself afterwards, it's going to be getting rid of evidence. But just focus on the fact that his semen was found in her vagina, so that evidence was not degraded enough to where it did not, and it matched him 1 in 8 trillion, I think, like that. So 100% without a shadow of a doubt, 1 trillion percent, his semen was found inside of her vagina. So now they have taken that sample and they have actually added it to databases for, you know, matches, just in case someone else is get raped. They can run it through that system and that database and possibly come up with a match if he becomes if he harms anyone else, right? So again, I'm gonna play this video as the outro of him saying he'll do it again. And a lot of his audience thought that he meant like disciplinary, trying to discipline her and say, get out my house, and accidentally grabbing her breast by accident. And she filed a police report claiming sexual assault over accident of groping of her breasts while he's trying to get her out of the house for being a bad girl, you know, having stolen items, which turns out not to be stolen items, is what I just told you was in that box, right? And also he said illegal drugs and stuff. So so when he says he'll do it again, it's actually the sexual assault.
Is watching this or can hear around, they will tell you, I have never been a woman abuser, never been a. I have never been around. No, relationship is watching this or can hear around, they will tell you, I have never been a woman abuser, never put my hands on one, ever, but my daughter. And I'm gonna tell you something else. If she was to do that mess again, that happened then, I'd do it again.
He says if she were to do this, do it again, what happened before. And by the way, when he says what happened before, he shows a video of her literally on the beach, and then he says that she was waiting. She was delivering illegal things to his residence, and then stole from him. That's all he showed. I'm like, really? That's your justification for all the stuff you have done? No, it's more than that, right? And stupid justification. It shows his depraved, sick mind. So yeah, with that being said, he's saying he would do it again. So that tells me that, you know, he's a dangerous person. He has no remorse. There's like some people say, well, forgive. How can you even try to say for his daughter to forgive, but he doesn't even want forgiveness? He's not even remorseful or feeling any guilt. He actually will do it again. And that's why, yes, so someone asked, is he a registered sex offender? Yes, he's a registered sex offender out of Hawaii.
By Angie Stone and help. Relationship is watching this or can hear around, they will tell you, I have never been a woman abuser, never put my hands on one, ever, but my daughter. And I'm gonna tell you something else. If she was to do that mess again, that happened then, I'd do it again.
And people say, well, how how did he get the strangulation? Number one, the victim said, she said, oh, my throat hurt. She kept on saying her throat was hurting and hurting, right? That's the statement. And then in his statement, remember, it's a separate interrogation, a separate interview. He says he admits to putting his hands around her neck. You see how that works? So he actually told on himself with that one, with the strangulation. He admits to strangling her. Yeah, he admits it, putting his hand around her neck. So that's how that even came in there. And remember, you strangle someone, they go unconscious, then they wake up to when they come back or come to, and they see that you're sexually assaulting them. So obviously he used strangulation to choke her out to get her to go unconscious, and so he could take advantage of her. And then she came back to her dad. Well, I would say dad, because to rapists assaulting her. But yeah, that's gonna be my topic for tonight. I will see y'all in the next live. But let me give one more shout out. Shout out to my mom Living, says thank you, Dani, for all your work, accountability. I thank you so much. I appreciate it. And I appreciate your work as well. Shout out to my mods. I got the best mods on YouTube. Now I know I told you I was going on my backup channel, but y'all, I can barely even get through this live. So I will not be going to my backup channel tonight. But yeah, I do have some receipts for my backup channel too, but yeah, I can't go live tonight because I'm tired. But yeah, shout out to you. I appreciate the fan funding and hold on. Everybody else, remember, support my channel for free just by what? Hitting that like button. But yeah, as we close, I want to bring it back to the survivor. Cases like this are a reminder that coming forward takes bravery, and forensic evidence can be life-changing in securing justice, even though it wasn't a great justice because he took a plea deal. They allowed him to take a plea deal because that saves money and resources, and then that leads to re-victimization and also injustice. However, he took that plea deal because he already knew there was evidence, DNA evidence that was going to nail him, right? If you or someone you know has experienced sexual assault, again, I'm going to close out with that SA hotline number, which is 1-800-656-HOPE. Again, 1-800-656-HOPE. And they also have a chat line, which is online.rain.org. And that's RAIN with 2 N's. So RAINN.org. And that's available 24/7. Okay. And yeah, so I'll see you on the next slide. Bye.
I gotta go. I gotta go. Don't ask me why. I gotta go. I should've left a long time ago. I don't even know how I got here, but I gotta go. Things have to change. I can't stay